Hello everyone, welcome to What If Deku Was Trained by Demon Slayer and Became Momo's Guardian Part 2. Before we start, please go support Yuto-sans11 for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistake in character's gender, but of course Deku is a male. Chapter 19, Demon Slayer vs. Hero Killer. Izuku, so I hope you're ready, killer, because I won't make things easy for you. They just smiled and the battle began. The two were watching each other, waiting to see who would make the first move. At that moment, a stone fell from the broken wall, and the two launched an attack, clashing their swords. Seeing who had the greatest strength, the attacks continued, one after the other. Only the sound of metal colliding with each other could be heard. For them, it was just the two of them, and no one else. Each one launched their attacks. Stain leaned on the walls to move. Izuku just defended himself and looked for a way to attack. At that, he saw that Stain jumped again and prepared his attack. Izuku breathed. But he couldn't finish as a dagger grazed his cheek, which he barely dodged. Stain, I'm sorry, but I won't leave you. He said to launch himself to attack. Izuku only stepped back and understood something. Stain was different from the other villains he has faced. He will not let me prepare, and if I do, I will die. Izuku just smiled and looked at Stain with a challenging look. Stain, what's up, brat? Did you go crazy knowing you're going to die, or because you're showing me that smile? Izuku, no, it's just that it's been a long time since I felt this adrenaline, the feeling of being able to die if I'm careless, not even against the Nomu. I felt something like that. The Nomu was strong, but he wasn't smart, but you, I feel that the moment I make a mistake I will die, and that makes me excited. Stain, you're crazy. How excited you can be to die, that's funny. Izuku, not only do I know that I'm going to enjoy this battle, so Stain, show me why you're a hero killer. With that, now Izuku launched himself into the attack. Stain, now he was the one who limited himself to protecting himself from Izuku's attacks that increased their speed every time he hit. Stain retreated more and more, but in that he took the fight seriously. He also felt that if he got confident he would die, so now the two got serious, and the fight took a new course. Each one collided his sword with the other. Attacks fell that each one defended until Stain took out a dagger, and now he fought with a double sword. Izuku did not trust himself and continued watching each one's attacks, looking for an opening, but none gave up on that. Izuku dodged a dagger that cut his cheek a little. Stain moved quickly and took the dagger to take her blood, and Izuku felt how his body weighed. Stain, it ends here, brat. This fight was entertaining, but this is your end. He said to drop his attack, which was blocked by Izuku. Stain, how can you move? But Stain noticed that Izuku was trembling. His quirk was working, but Izuku's willpower was stronger, and he wouldn't let himself be defeated very easily. At that moment, Izuku charged his attack. Izuku, wind breathing, first stance, dust whirlwind. With that he hit Stain, but Stain also attacked him before receiving the attack, cutting Izuku's chest a little. While with the heroes, they were controlling the situation with the Nomus, and Gran Torino was with Endeavor, seeing that everything was okay, but in the distance they saw Izumi and Todoroki coming carrying Ida and the hero. Torino, funny, what are you doing here and what happened? Izumi, Gran Torino, the hero killer, we ran into him, but my brother is fighting him right now. Endeavor, and now where is it? Ryukyu, so Izuku already went into action. Everyone saw Ryukyu arrive at the place. Izumi, Miss Ryukyu, what are you doing here? Ryukyu, Izuku told me they were attacking Hosu and I came to help with the evacuation. Take those two to be healed. We will go help Izuku. Gran Torino nodded and just clicked his tongue. Izumi, please let me go with you. I also want to help my brother. But before saying anything else, in the distance a green tornado was seen in a part of the city. The heroes knew who it belonged to, so they quickly went to the place, followed by some reporters who were covering what was happening. When they arrived, they could see Izuku with his uniform damaged, and with blood all over his body, but Stain was not the one in the best shape. He also had his suit torn and blood on his body, but what surprised everyone was that they both had a smile on their face. Torino, boy, we're here, get out of there, we'll take care of it. He said he wanted to go help him, but received a response from Izuku. Izuku, no. This is my battle, and whoever wants to interfere will end up dead, so don't interfere. he said without taking his eyes off Stain, at which point the two of them launched themselves and began exchanging attacks. Izumi, brother, why don't you want us to help you? Ryukyu, I think Izuku is enjoying this battle. Todoroki, what does he mean? Ryukyu, a long time ago Izuku told me that his sensei taught him many things, but he told him something important. A battle can be fun even if you fight for your life. Izumi, what are you talking about? How can you have fun when you know you can see people suffering? Ryukyu, because Izuku is not fighting alone against Stain, but he is fighting against his own demon. I think Izuku sees Stain as his own figure, and how he would have ended if he had not had someone to support him. Izumi, Izuku. Ryukyu, so no one intervenes and watched your brother overcome his own demons. At that, everyone turned to see those who were fighting. It was a very close fight. Neither of them gave up or took a false step. Izuku, come on, Stain, that's all you have. Are you getting tired already? Stain, don't believe it, brat. I can still keep going, so you better not hold back. The two continued fighting fiercely. Each blow of their swords created small air currents. Izuku could not use his techniques since he knew that the moment he positioned himself, Stain would use it to his advantage. In addition, he was still under the effect of Stain's quirks since he took his blood every time he could to not give him a chance to recover. But Izuku knew he had to end this, so he decided to take the risk. He threw a kick to push Stain away. Now the two of them were looking at each other face to face. Izuku, this will be the end, Stain. Stain, go ahead, demon. Stain and Izuku, this attack will decide everything. Stain jumped towards Izuku, who put away his sword and created a combat pose. Izuku, breath of darkness, tenth stance, bloodlust. He said to hit him on the handle of his sword, and a bell rang. Stain, who was near Izuku, all his wounds from the smallest to the largest reopened, and enlarged. Stain fell next to Izuku with his eyes blank and full of blood. Izuku just became normal. Izuku, good fight, Stain, I will always remember it. He said to turn around and go with the others, but behind him the Stain slowly got up until a great thirst for blood was felt throughout the place. Izuku just opened his eyes and smiled, turned around, and took his sword. Stain, Demon Slayer, you are a great hero. No, you are something different, the one that is in both worlds, and I recognize you as a great hero, a demonic hero, and I am proud to die before your sword. You are a new symbol that will change this society. That is why I leave you my dream. Your Demon Slayer saves this world. He said, standing there with a blank stare, and a great thirst for blood was felt all over the place. Izuku just put away his sword. Everyone else wanted to go see, but Izuku stopped them and said, Izuku, Stain, you are incredible. It was a great battle, and you were a great adversary. Although this world turned its back on you, I will fulfill your dream in my own way so that no one else ends up like you or me. So rest in peace and go see it. Everything was recorded by reporters who saw the show of respect between these two, in which Izuku just fainted before everyone's eyes. Ryukyu and Izumi went to help him and took him to a hospital. Meanwhile, everyone who watched the news saw the battle between these two and what it represented for some, the birth of a new symbol, the symbol of change. Chapter 20 Preparations. Izuku was taken to the hospital. There he was examined by the doctors. Although his injuries were serious, he was not in danger of dying. A day passed, and Izuku woke up. Izuku, does everything hurt where I am? Momo, in the hospital, do you know how worried I was when I saw you fighting with the hero killer? Izuku, wait, you saw me. Momo, they aired the latest live and the news talks about what Swede is telling me why you handed it in. Izuku, I think because I felt like he was just like me in a way. Momo, what do you mean? Izuku, that maybe I would be like him if I hadn't met my sensei, you and the others, that everything I believe in would have fallen apart if I didn't have them. That's why I felt like I had to defeat him to prove to myself that I took the right path. Momo, Izuku, yo. He couldn't say anything, so he jumped in to hug him. Izuku was surprised but hugged him back. Momo, of course you made the right choice. I wouldn't know what would happen if I didn't have you by my side. That's why I'm so glad I met you, and please never leave my side. Izuku just smiled and gave Momo a kiss that reflected their mutual love to press his forehead against hers. Izuku, thank you for staying by my side. Momo, thank you for coming into my life. With that, the two stayed hugging for a while. Another day passed and Izuku was discharged. He could see many people gathered with banners that said his hero name, giving him congratulations and thanks for what he has done so much in his time as a vigilante. And hero Izuku just smiled and greeted everyone, and was taken home to rest since he had one day left to finish the practices, so he had time to rest. The next day Momo and Izuku were going to the UA. Upon arriving, he was greeted by Izumi. "Izumi, brother, you're fine now. Nothing hurts anymore." "Izuku, calm down, I'm fine, I'm a tough nut to crack," he said to stroke Izumi's head. "Izuku, and how are you?" "Izumi, don't worry, we don't have anything serious, just a few scratches." "Lida, Kamadu, Midoriya." "Izuku, what's wrong?" "Lida, I wanted to apologize for everything that happened because of me. My thirst for revenge made me get you into trouble. I'm sorry." "Izuku, calm down. As long as you understand your mistake it's fine, but I hope this helps you improve. Well, it would be better to go sit down. Aizawa will be here soon." With that said, everyone went to their places. In a while Aizawa arrived. "Aizawa, listen carefully, the semester exams will be soon to see your progress, and then we will have a training camp, so I hope you are prepared." "Oh, yes." With that said, classes passed normally until the arrival of the exam, which was both written and practical. In the practical part, they had to fight against a teacher. Everything was the same as in the anime, except that Izumi fought with Bakugo instead of Izuku. Izuku did not have to take his exam since the fight against Stain had given him his results. Everyone was already waiting for the results. Everyone passed the written exams, but in the practicals, some failed and thought they would not be able to go to camp, but Aizawa told them that they would all go, which made them very happy. In addition, they all decided to go shopping for what they were missing for the camp, so at the time of departure, some went to the mall to buy what they were missing. "Momo, and tell me, Izuku, what are you going to buy?" "Izuku, I think nothing, I have everything I need, better some new weights because the ones I have already feel light. And you?" "Momo, I think something for the mosquitoes. I'll go see something with Jiru." "Izuku, okay, I'll wait for you here. If you need anything, call me." Momo went with Jiru to see the stores. Izuku stayed there in the dining rooms and sat on a bench to relax until a guy arrived. "Subject, you are the demon slayer, your fight against Stain was incredible," he said to try to put his arm on Izuku's shoulders, but Izuku put a wooden sword to his neck. "Izuku, tell me what you want, Tamura." "Tamura, you're so cold. I just want to talk. I want to understand why someone like Stain draws more attention than me, who has tried hard." "Izuku, maybe because he had a motivation, and you're just a kid who wants attention. Tell me what you want to do in your life." "Tamura, I want to fulfill my sensei's dream." "Izuku, I'm sorry, but that won't happen. The world that Almight built and the one your sensei wants to build are not worlds where I want to live. That's why I will do it for good." "Tamura, you're just a brat. Tell me to open up now. Kill me. How many people do you think I'll take before I—" Before he finished, Izuku cut off his head. "Izuku, easy none. Since you're not here, you're smart. You took your precautions, but this conversation is over." Tamura's body was turning into a kind of mud while Izuku stood up to go look for the others, but not far from there the real Tamura was watching everything that was happening. "Tamura, so a motivation. You are very funny, Kamadu, but you will not defeat me. I will destroy this world," he said to go deeper into the darkness of the alley while Izuku returned to his companions acting normal since he did not want to worry anyone. Once finished his shopping, everyone returned to their homes, but Izumi was called by All Might, so she separated from the others. Izumi arrived at the beach that she cleaned with All Might, and there she saw him. "Izumi, what's going on all night? Why do you need me?" "All Might, the truth is I wanted to tell you that I was invited to go to Island and I wanted you to accompany me." "Izumi, seriously, I've always wanted to go to the Island of Inventors since it's going to be." "All Might, I'm going to visit a friend and they gave me tickets for two and I wanted to take you." "Izumi, I accept." With that the two continued talking a little while. Meanwhile with Izuku and Momo they had arrived at their house, so Izuku went to the couch to lie down. Momo went to see if any message had arrived while they were not, and that she saw something. "Momo, hey Izuku." "Izuku, tell me what's wrong." "Momo, Well, my parents send us tickets to go to Island, so I thought we could go since they say it's a family matter, and they can't go, so they said we should go. Izuku, it's okay if you want to go, let's go as long as I'm with you, I don't care where I am. Momo, good thing they gave me another ticket, so I'll invite the girls. Izuku, understood, no problem. With that, Momo started calling the others very happily. Chapter 21 Cap ESP Island. Izumi and All Might were on a plane on the way to Island talking about things. Upon arrival, they saw the whole big place with a lot of people and inventions everywhere. At that, a lot of people approached All Might to greet him. Izumi just stared at the place for a while. Afterwards, the two were walking through a park until a girl with blonde hair and blue eyes came to greet them. Uncle Might. All, or Melissa so long. He said to lift her up. All, you're already too big. Melissa, yes, it's been a while, and who is she? All, she is one of my students, Izumi Midoriya. Izumi, nice to meet you, so you already know All Might. Melissa, nice to meet you, I'm Melissa, and yes, my dad is a good friend of Uncle Might. That's why I asked him to come for a surprise. Izumi, what surprise are you talking about? Melissa, well, my father is a little stressed because of work and I wanted to surprise him. So what better than inviting everyone to see him? So come, I'll take you to him. The two nodded and were guided by Melissa Asia to her father's laboratories. She then arrived at his office and knocked on the door. Melissa, can I come in? Dave, go ahead, what's up, daughter? Melissa, well, someone wanted to come and say hello. All Might, I'm coming in like a normal person. Dave, Toshinori, what are you doing here? All Might, I came to see my best friend. Dave, go ahead and tell me who's with you. Izumi, nice to meet you, I'm Izumi Midoriya, I'm a student of All Might, delighted. Dave, nice to see you're okay. Yes, Melissa. Why don't you take Izumi around while I catch up with my friend? Melissa, okay, Dad, let's go. Izumi, you're going to like this place. Izumi, okay, see you later, All Might. The two left the place to leave the two alone. Once they left, All Might began to release smoke and cough to return to its skinny form. Dave, Toshinori, are you okay? All Might, if only my time was reduced more now, I can't be a hero more than an hour. Dave, seriously, what are you going to do now? All Might, I think leaving the future in the hands of the new heroes. Dave, I see, well, come tell me how you've been. So the two sat down and began to talk while Izumi and Melissa were walking around the place seeing all kinds of inventions and invited heroes. They arrived at a room of all kinds of inventions where they ran into Uraraka and Jiraiya. Izumi, girls, what are you doing here? Uraraka, we came with Momo but we lost sight of her. Jiraiya, she must be with her boyfriend. Izumi, wait, my brother is here. Melissa, who are they? Izumi, sorry, they are my girlfriends, she is Melissa, she was showing me the place. Uraraka, would you mind if we accompanied you? Melissa, no problem, and by the way, you said your brother is here. Izumi, that's how it is, when you see it you will be surprised, it's very strong. So the four of them headed to see the rest of the island until they reached a stadium where a competition was taking place. The four of them looked out to see what was happening. Host, and the contestant finished in 33 seconds and is in 8th place. To see Kirishima in the center. Izumi, it's Kirishima. Melissa, they know him. Izumi, yes, it's another of our companions. Host, and now our next contestant. The one who passed was Bakugo, who was ready to attack, and when he started he propelled himself with his explosions and destroyed every robot he saw. Driver, and the finish in 15 seconds is our first place. But when he turned around he saw Izumi and the others and he would throw himself at the wall. Bakugo, damn useless people, what are you doing here? Izumi, calm down Bakugo, we're just taking a walk. Kirishima, it's good to see you Izumi, why don't you try it? Bakugo, this useless girl won't beat me. Izumi, you'll see that we'll surpass you. Izumi launched herself onto the stage and prepared to launch the attack by activating One for All, and when the announcement was given she launched herself with speed and using her fire to attack the furthest away, finishing in 16 seconds. Host, and she takes our second place. Izumi would go up with the others. Izumi, lightning so close. Bakugo, ha ha ha, see, I told you I'm the best. Host, wow, this is incredible. The contestant finished in 14 seconds and took first place. Oh, what? When they turned around they could see how the mountain was frozen and they saw that Todoroki was responsible. He just went to the stands and saw everyone there. Todoroki, hello, nice to see you. Bakugo, damn half how dare you surpass me. Izumi, hello Todoroki. Melissa, your kind is very strong Izumi. Izumi, hee hee, and you still haven't seen my brother, he's the best. Melissa, seriously, tell me what quirk he has. Izumi, that's what makes him special, he doesn't have any ka. Host, and our next contestant, are you ready? Let's start. In just 1 second all the robots exploded and the participant was still in place. Driver, this is incredible, he defeated them in 5 seconds and took first place. Everyone was surprised to hear a laugh next to them. Momo, he doesn't hold back at any time. Izumi, Momo, if you're here that means that. He said to turn to the center of the stage to see Izuku standing serenely with his sword. He just turned to see everyone and jumped with them. Izuku, hi guys, how are you? Bakugo, damn bastard, what are you doing here and what the hell did you do? Izuku, what I do with my life is none of your business, so stop talking, and you Izumi, what are you doing here? You came with him, no? Izumi, that's right, and she's Melissa, she was showing me the place. Izuku, nice to meet you, I'm Kamadu Izuku, nice to meet you. Melissa, wait, are they siblings? Because their last names are different. Izuku, several things happened but we are blood brothers, so now where are we going? Melissa, well, if you want, I'll show you the place a little. They all nodded and followed Melissa to a small shop that had tables outside and sat down to rest and refresh themselves, where they met Kaminari and Mineta who were working there. They were both infatuated with Melissa, but she spoke. Melissa, hey, I wanted to know if you want to go to a party tonight. Izumi, it would be fun, let's go. He said, looking at Uraraka and Jairu, who nodded. Izuku, do you want to go? Momo, of course it will be fun. Besides, it's been a long time since I saw you in an elegant suit, hee. Izuku, okay. Everyone else agreed and went to their rooms to get ready, but in a port on the island something was happening. 1. Everything is ready. 2. Yes, boss, we have everything ready. 1. Excellent, then let's go, we have work to do. Chapter 21. We must save the island. Everyone was ready to go to the party. They said goodbye and met at the entrance of the building where it would take place. Little by little, everyone arrived. Only Momo and Izuku were missing. Izumi, don't you think they're taking too long? Melissa, don't worry, there's still plenty of time left, so no problem. At that moment the door opened, revealing Momo and Izuku dressed very elegantly. Izuku, sorry for the delay, I didn't know what to wear since I didn't want to wear my work clothes. Momo, hi girls, you look great. She said to join the others who came with beautiful dresses. Izumi, well, since we're all here, it's time for the party to begin. Everyone nodded, but when they wanted to get on the elevator it wouldn't open. No matter how hard they tried, it wouldn't open. Meanwhile, at the party the guests were enjoying the evening, where there were several heroes and the symbol of peace himself talking to his friend. Then an alarm sounded, and some cables caught several heroes including Almight. He tried to free himself, but several villains came in and took everyone hostage. Then a kick ignites where a villain appears with something metal on his face. Chief Villain, hello all heroes, as you can see, I have taken everyone hostage, and not just here, the entire island is under my power, so you better think twice before doing anything stupid. I only came for one thing, first of all, take David. He said so that 2 henchmen took David and took him out of the room along with his assistant. Chief Villain, well, see you later, heroes. With that the screen was turned off, Everyone was alarmed and Beyond might not know what to do, but something caught his attention and Asia turned up to see his students. At that Izuku indicated that they were listening to him. Almight, young people, the building was taken over by villains and they have the entire island hostage through the security system. They also took Professor David young Izuku. I know that even if I tell him not to get into trouble, he won't listen to me, so I give him permission to take action. Izuku upon hearing this just nodded and looked at his companions so that they all attended with that they left there. Izuku, you heard, we have to get to the place where they took the teacher and turn off the emergency system. Melissa, I know you're scared, but I need your help with that. Melissa, understood, I'll help as much as I can. Izuku, listen carefully, our priority is to get to the top floor to end this, so we're going to give it our all. All, yes. Izuku, Momo, can you create one for me? Momo, of course. He said to create a sword and give it to Izuku. With that they all left. From there they went up several floors, but the villains noticed them and closed the entrances. Melissa, it can't be, we'll have to find another way. Izuku, no time total. Concentration, dual breathing wind and water, first combined posture, typhoon drill. He said to put his sword as a spear and give a thrust from which a large whirlwind came out piercing the wall in front of them. Everyone was impressed but continued forward as Izuku said they had no time to waste. Everyone advanced to where there was a place full of plants, and in that place there were two villains guarding the place, but in that appear Kirishima and Bakugo, who apparently were lost in the building, were going to attack, but Todoroki created a wall of ice and told the others to go ahead, that they would take care of it. Everyone nodded and advanced. They continued going up the building until they reached a large hallway full of robots, and that Momo created some cannons and began to shoot at the robots. Momo, I will create a path for you, you go. Izuku, are you sure? Momo, calm down, I promise I'll be fine, so see. Izuku, I'll wait for you at the top. She said to go out with the others, but she was stuck with Momo, Jiru and Mineta while the rest continued on. Izuku, are you sure it's good to leave her? She is. Izuku, calm down, she's not weak. I've known her since we were little and I know what she's capable of. Besides, I trust her, she's the most important thing to me, that's why I trained her, and she became. Meanwhile, Momo was creating cannonballs to stop the robots while Jiru shot them. Lita fought with those that came closer and Mineta threw his balls to stop them. Momo, it's not enough, I'm already exhausted. Mineta, what we do will be our end. Momo, I will fight. He said to create a sword and stand in front of everyone. Momo, stay behind me, remember everything I teach you, you don't ask for every step and feeling, remember that he trusts you, total. Concentration, Sakura breathing, first pose, petal storm. With that, a strong gale of Sakura petals was created that cut all the robots that stood in front of it. That attack finished off most of the robots. Momo just moved her sword and several petals began to fall. Izuku, she is the queen of Sakura. With that said, they continued advancing until they reached an area that was outside the building, so using Uraraka's quirk she made Izuku float to reach the top, taking Melissa, but Izumi also went to support them in that they were going up thanks to Izuku moving well in the air, but in that several robots arrived where Uraraka, but she was helped by the others who had arrived. Izuku and the others entered the building and went directly to where the villains were. Izuku told Melissa to go to where the control room was and that Izumi went with her, that he would be in charge of saving the teacher. The two nodded and went like that to the room Izuku entered with the villains. Izuku, this ends here, return me to the teacher now. Chief villain, but we have a quiet brat here. We're just here on business, aren't we, Professor? David, I hired them to steal something from me and I finally have it now, I can. But he was pushed, and his briefcase was snatched. Chief villain, thanks, but we'll take this and you too, so kid, get out of our way. He said to start throwing metal things at Izuku, who just dodged or cut them and got closer and closer to the villain, who got scared but hooked Izuku and wrapped him in metal and got him out of his way to get out of there with the briefcase and the teacher, and they went to where a helicopter was waiting for them, but it was caught by Izumi and Melissa, who saw everything on the surveillance cameras once they stopped everything. Izumi, let's go back to the teacher. Chief villain, I'm sorry, but he drags us to make a lot of money. He said to get on the helicopter and leave the place. Izumi was going towards them and jumped to grab the helicopter, but the villain pointed a gun at the teacher and kicked Izumi, who took her out of the helicopter and fell in the helipad area. Izumi just saw how they left, but then the helicopter exploded and someone fell in front of them. Izumi, All Might. All Might, don't worry because I'm here, friend, you're okay. David, thanks Tashinori, and I'm sorry this was all my fault. All Might, there is nothing to it. But before that the professor was dragged by some metal cables. Chief Villain, I'm sorry but this isn't over yet, so go ahead. All Might, today will be your end. He said to start gathering all the metal nearby and create a huge monster. All Might launched an attack but was stopped by very resistant metal blocks. Izumi went to support him, but the two were captured by metal cables that came out of the floor in full view of everyone who had come to the area to help, but most were already tired. Chief Villain, this is your end. All Might, say goodbye. He said, creating some tentacles with a sharp tip and launching them towards them, but someone got in the way, cutting two of those tentacles, but ended up being pierced in the shoulder and near the stomach by the other two. It was Izuku who had reached the area. Chief Villain, but look, we have the brat here. Well, you were the most dangerous of all. He said to throw him out of the building. Momo, Izuku. Izuku, All Might, Izumi, don't give up, I'll come back, so don't die. At that, the two mentioned activated their strength and broke the cables that held them and began to fight against the villain. Everyone else supported them as they could while they looked for a way to defeat him, but the villain became stronger and stronger because of the professor's device. They didn't know what to do. Chief Villain, what's up? All Might is all you have. You disappoint me, but he'll be very happy if I finish you off. All Might, don't tell me that. Chief Villain, that's right, he was the one who gave me this power, and he's the one who will finish you off, so say goodbye, All Might. He said to create a huge block of very hard metal that would finish off everyone there. No one knew what to do until they heard footsteps coming at full speed, then something jumped in front of everyone. His eyes shone a deep red and he was holding a raised sword, wrapped in darkness. Everyone saw him, and it was Izuku who came to help them. Izuku, Breath of Darkness, 11th stance, Nirvana Dimensional Cut. With that alone he lowered his sword and cut the block in two, and without finishing there he went straight towards the villain, who cut half of the structure and the villain's arm. Boss Villain, damn brat. Izuku, All Might, Izumi, now finish him. All Might, young Izuku. Izumi, brother. All and Izumi, don't worry, we won't let you down. They said to rush out to attack the villain, dodging and destroying every attack he threw at them. All Might, you're ready, young Izumi? Izumi, of course, All Might. All Izumi, double Detroit smash. With that they hit the villain to defeat him, ending this. All Might found the professor, and Izumi was with Melissa, happy that this was over. Momo, they did it, Izuku. Izuku, that's great, but you know something? Now I want a vacation, hee. Momo, silly, let's get you checked. Izuku, yes. Chapter 22, Start of Camp. The days have passed, and the day of the camp has arrived. Everyone was already on their way to where the camp would be held. They were talking and having fun along the way. Some were looking at the landscape until someone spoke. Tsuyu, Kamadu. Izuku, what's up, Tsuyu? Tsuyu, you know that I always say what I think, and I wanted to know how you can kill so easily even if they are villains like you do. Mina, you're right, since the USJ incident I've also thought about it. How can you kill someone so easily? Don't you have a heart? Momo, hey, what are you doing? But she was stopped by Izuku. Izuku, it's never easy and you never get used to taking someone's life. You're going to accept carrying it for the rest of your life, but it's never easy. I've been doing it since I was a child to be able to live, but even though I show myself strong in front of you and the public, the truth is only a few people have seen me break. Momo, hearing that, had a memory come to her. For years ago. It was nighttime at the Yaruzu mansion, and Momo woke up to go get a glass of water but saw a light on and said goodbye to go see what it was. When it was getting closer and closer, she started to hear noises. When she arrived, she looked out to see Izuku in the bathroom vomiting. She quickly went in to see if he was okay. Momo, Izuku, are you okay? Izuku, Miss Momo, what are you doing here? You should be asleep, he said, but never turned to look at her. Momo, I was going for a glass of water, but that doesn't matter, you're fine. Izuku, don't worry, it was just something that upset me. Go to sleep. I'll be fine. I still didn't see her. Momo, please Izuku, tell me what you have. I can't leave you like that. Please, at least look at me. Izuku. Momo, Izuku, please, I'm worried about you. He only turned around when he saw Momo's eyes. She saw that they were swollen as if she had been crying and that they showed some fear. Izuku, hee, I must look pathetic, right? Momo didn't say anything and just approached to hug him. Momo, of course you don't just look human. Upon hearing that, Izuku only reciprocated the hug and began to shed a few tears. Izuku, thank you. Present. Izuku, but it's for them that I do it. If I don't do it, this world will continue the same. One of those villains could harm someone important to me. That's why I endure each one that my sword cuts, and you will understand it one day. Everyone just stayed silent and continued with their trip. Momo didn't say anything either and leaned on Izuku's shoulder. Izuku, thinking, also if I can't kill them, I won't be able to keep my promise when the time comes. Everything continued calmly until reaching a rest area where everyone got off. Aizawa, good guys, gather around. Everyone gathered together. Aizawa, first of all, I'm going to introduce you to those who will be accompanying us during this camp. Then two heroines appear in cat suits, one red and the other blue. Aizawa, they are the Hussy Cats. Mandalay, nice to meet you, I'm Mandalay. Pixie Bob, I am delighted to be Pixie Bob. Izumi, wow, that's great. Mandalay, good boys, your camp starts now, that's why. But before everyone could do anything, the floor where they were became steep and everyone fell in a quick movement. Izuku caught Momo and they fell without much effort, while the others didn't know what to do. Izumi, brother, that's unfair because you only helped Momo. Izuku, because it's my job, and besides, if they couldn't handle that, do you think you'd be number one? Izumi just pouted and said nothing. Mandalay, well, your first test is to get to the campsite before nightfall. Pixie, latecomers won't eat. Izuku, Momo, do you want me to take you? Momo, don't worry either. He said to create a sword. Momo, I have to get stronger too. Izuku just smiled and kissed her on the forehead as everyone looked on. Momo turned very red. Izuku, okay, then I'll go ahead. Lita, wait, Kamadu, don't you think it's better to go all together? Izuku, I'm sorry, but I don't have time to waste, and I can't stay and play with some rocks, so lightning. Breathing first stance, lightning flash. At that, Izuku runs off into the forest. Every time he went deeper into it, he only saw a small light that was fading away. Momo, we must not be left behind either. They all nodded and began to enter the forest. They saw several earth creatures destroyed, but then more appeared. Momo, what did Izuku mean by playing with rocks? Class 1A fought against those creatures. Night was falling and the students had barely arrived at the area. Many were tired and sore. Pixie, congratulations, you arrived just in time. Mandalay, you can go rest, we will prepare dinner for you today. All yay? Momo, they don't know if Izuku has arrived yet. Mandalay, the sword boy, if he had already started his training, was the first to arrive and said that if they had their area ready. Saying that they see Izuku arrive with his clothes destroyed and several wounds, and he seemed to be short of breath. Momo, Izuku, are you okay? Izuku, yes, don't worry, Aizawa-sensei. Aizawa, what's up? Izuku, I want you to increase the difficulty a little more. Aizawa, sure of that decision. Izuku, yes, I came to improve, and if I don't try harder I won't know if we can protect them. Aizawa, okay, I'll talk to the director to increase it. It will be ready tomorrow. Izuku, good. Momo, Izuku, what is your training? Izuku, like the one I did the week before the festival, but now if I really fail, it will cost me my life. Pixie, well, it's been a long day, so let's go eat. Everyone nodded and started eating. Izumi, Mandalay, and who is that child? Mandalay, that's my nephew Kota. Izumi, really? He said to go with him. Izumi, hello Kota, I'm Izumi, nice to meet you. Kota just ignored her and left there. Mandalay, don't blame him, the truth is that he doesn't like heroes. Izumi, seriously, I thought all the kids her age liked it. Izuku, some people can change their tastes, you know. Everything continued calmly until the hot springs arrived and everyone was enjoying them until a little pervert spoke. Mineta, paradise is on the other side. Lita Minor, don't do anything wrong. Mineta, walls were made to climb the plus ultra. He said to climb the wall with his spheres. Izuku only saw him but knew that someone was there to prevent that. Mineta was about to arrive until Kota comes out and pushes him to stop. Mineta, damn kid. Mina, thank you very much Kota. By reflex the boy turned around and due to the impact Asia fell backward, but before hitting the ground he was caught by Izuku. Izuku, I'll take him to Mandalay, but Mineta, if you try to do that again or I hear any scream from any of the girls, I'll consider you dead, releasing a bit of killer instinct, to which Mineta faints from fear. Izuku gets out of there and puts on a pair of shorts and goes with Mandalay. Mandalay, so that's what happened. Izuku, can I ask something? Mandalay, yes of course. Izuku, because he hates heroes. Mandalay, a long time ago his parents died in labor to protect people and I feel that they abandoned him. Since then I have taken care of him, but I feel that he hates me. Izuku, he doesn't hate you. Mandalay, he? Izuku, he's just afraid of being left alone. But you show him that you'll always be there for him, he'll never be alone again. Take care of him and give him all the love you can. Mandalay, okay thanks. Izuku, you're welcome. Chapter 23, Able to Split a Mountain. The day had arrived, everyone was getting up very early, their camp had just started, everyone was changed and went out to their residence where they were separated depending on their quirk. Some gave them tests so that their quirk would grow quickly since they know that the world needs great heroes. Those who had the growth quirk were fighting with a man in a cat costume, and that through the forest class B is arriving seeing everything that the other class is doing. Mandalay, or they finally arrived, leave your things and start your training. Those who are physical type, go with Tiger. But then someone flew out next to them, and when they saw it was Izumi who had a little blood in her mouth, and seemed agitated. Tiger, come on, that's all. No, you wanted a real fight. Izumi, I'm not done yet. If I want to reach it I can't give myself time to rest. He said to go fight with Tiger again. Kendo, what happened? Why is everyone like this? Mandalay, I think it's because of one person. Monoma, it's probably because they're just weak people who don't accept reality. Mandalay, if they are weak then he is a demon. Kendo, who he speaks of. Mandalay from. But they felt a tremor to see how a giant mountain is created far away from there, and sometime later it is split in half causing a current of air to reach where everyone is. Kendo, what step is an attack? Mandalay, it's not Izuku Kamato's training. Monoma, seriously, that's his training. What's happening with that guy? Mandalay, not only that, he asked to be able to do his own training, and he is the only one who can die in his training, but that is another matter. You also start. Everyone in Class B was thinking about that but decided to keep quiet and go to the training area. This lasted until the afternoon, when everyone was exhausted from their training. Pixie, well done to everyone, and as we left you today you will make your own food, so cheer up. Everyone had a lost look and went to prepare everything for the meal, but someone was looking for Izuku. Momo, hey, haven't you seen Izuku? Izumi, still not back from training. She said a little worried, but then everyone sees how a shadow comes out of the forest. When it shows itself it is Izuku, who came with his clothes destroyed and bleeding all over the place. Then they see that he had a knife stuck in his shoulder, and he takes it out. Izuku, sorry for the delay. Momo, Izuku, what happened to you? Someone attacked you. Izuku, of course it's not my training to go down the mountain 100 times while holding my breath fully, and each time the traps are more lethal, but help me take this knife off my back. he said, turning around so Momo could take the knife away from him. Then she took him to the infirmary to heal all his wounds while everyone looked at him thinking, "What the hell is wrong with him?" But some thought, "If he's trying like that, what am I doing?" Izuku stayed in the infirmary for a while. Once he rested a little, he got up to go eat something. When he arrived, he could see how everyone was already eating, but when he looked around, he couldn't see the boy. "Izuku, excuse me, Mandalay, and where is Koda?" "Mandalay, I don't know, it always disappears." "Izuku, he wants me to go get him, he also needs to eat." "Mandalay, do you think you can find it?" Izuku, "Sure, no problem." He said to take a plate of food and a wooden katana and go to the forest, and began to walk until on a mountain he found Koda sitting on the shore where the camp could be seen. "Izuku, tell me what you're doing here alone." "Koda, what are you doing here? Heroes are not allowed." "Izuku, then there's no problem since I'm a demon slayer." "Koda, don't lie, you're playing heroes with them." "Izuku, you're right, but I'm not a hero, or not yet, but tell me why you hate heroes." "Koda, I don't have to tell you." "Izuku, you're right, because I didn't lose your parents, but that doesn't mean they didn't love you." "Koda, you don't know anything, you have no right to speak." "Izuku, maybe you're right, but you had loving parents who loved you and I didn't. My parents threw me away like garbage." "Koda, Izuku, I'll tell you something, your parents didn't die because of the people who were there, they sacrificed themselves for you." "Koda, what are you talking about?" "Izuku, they didn't think about the present but about the future, your future." Koda was just shocked by Izuku's words, he didn't know what to say. "Izuku, they thought about you until the last moment, about what would happen if we let this villain free, what happens if he meets my son and if he hurts Koda. They loved you more than anything, so much that they gave their lives for the person they loved the most." "Koda, but they left me alone." "Izuki, yes, they left you, but you will never be alone. There will always be people who will be with you." He said to think about his sensei and Momo. "Izuku, and I think you already have those people." Koda just lowered his head so that the image of his aunt and his companions would come to his head. "Izuku, it's not like that." Koda just nodded. "Izuku, you know why I fight every day?" Koda shook his head. "Izuku, because I don't want any child to go through what you and I went through. If I fail in my mission, I hope you help me continue with it or maintain it." Koda shed a few tears to say yes. "Izuku, then become strong, stronger than your aunt, stronger than me, to protect your loved ones and those who can't defend themselves, so much that you can split a mountain." He said to take out his katana and threw a slash at the mountain that was nearby and cut it in half. Koda was surprised. "Koda, you are very strong, what kind of quirk do you have?" "Izuku, I don't have a quirk, so if you want to catch up with me, I hope you try hard, and for that you have to eat." He said to take out the plate of food and give it to him and leave there, leaving a more animated Koda. Izuku was already going down the mountain. "Izuku, haha, even if he says he doesn't want to be a hero, he's been trying hard. That crack in the mountain proves it, but I also have to try hard if I want no one else to go through that, and I still have a duty as a demon slayer that I must fulfill, and the way things are going I think the day is almost here, so I shouldn't lose the rhythm. You never know where the next demon will come from. But a little far from the area you can see how a portal opens where some villains come out and look at the camp. Dottie, remember, we came for the goals, so I don't want any failures. Toga, calm down, everything will be fine. Muscular, I just want to face him. Dottie, if only you don't kill him, Sensei wants him alive." Chapter 24: Attack on the Camp. It was already the last day of camp and everyone had worked hard to raise their level, so their teachers had a surprise for them. "Mandalay, listen carefully, today is your last day, so tonight we will have a bonfire and a test of courage, so I hope you are ready." All yes. So the day passed until night fell and everyone was ready for the test. They made groups of 2 where Izuku was left alone because those who were in recovery would not participate. "Mandalay, well, you know, first group B will try to scare you, there are several checkpoints, so good luck." So the groups passed one by one. "Izuku, good luck, Momo." "Momo, don't worry, I'm not that scared anymore." Izuku, haha, okay. Izuku was one of the last until he felt a faint smell of smoke, and then saw how blue fire spread throughout the place. Mandalay, what's happening? Izuku, it's a quick attack, warn the others to come back. Mandalay gave the order for everyone to return, but several villains were attacking. Izumi, brother, what are we going to do? Izuku, calm down, I'll go. Mandalay, wait where Koda is. Izuku, lightning fast Izumi, come with me. Izumi just nodded and ran after Izuku until he reached the area where Koda's base was and saw that he was lying on the floor and in front of him was a large man covered in muscle tissue, but they went and Izumi hit him while Izuku cut him. Muscular, but we have two brats here, they are joining the police, tell me where Bakugo and Izuku are. Izumi, they're good for you, brother. Izuku, so we are your targets. I'm sorry, but I won't let you touch anyone. He said to launch the attack. Izumi also went to help, giving a blow to Muscular in the stomach, while Izuku attacked from behind, giving him a cut. They continued like this for a while until Izumi used one for all more, even though it broke his arm, to throw Muscular towards the mountain, leaving him embedded. They thought that he had already won, but Muscular started to laugh. Muscular, you guys are amazing, let me see your blood, but I think we have to level up. Your parents did this to me, right? Kid. Well, I'll have fun with you too when I'm done with them. He said to take out his eye and put another one in, a red eye with a light blue iris that had a 5 engraved in it. Kaji Izuku recognized this and quickly went into combat mode. Izuku, where did you get that eye? Muscular, ha ha ha, my teacher gave it to me, he said it would increase my power, and I feel how my power increases like that. I hope you're ready because I'm going to kill them, ha ha ha. Izuku, Izumi, take Koda out of here and go with the others. Izumi, I won't leave you alone with him. Izuku, I'm telling you to get lost, this is no longer a villain, it's something much worse, so go quickly. Muscular, where you think you're going, I won't let anyone escape. He said to jump on Koda and Izumi. Izuku, water breathing, second stance, water wheel. To jump in front of Muscular, and do a spin that cut his chest, making him step back. Izuku, Izumi, now get out of here. Izumi just took Koda and ran out of the place without looking back. He knew that if his brother acted like that, something bad was happening. Izuku, now it's just you and me, and I promise you that only one of us will get out of here alive. Muscular just smiled as he touched the wound he had inflicted, but it was regenerating. Muscular, then show me your blood. He said to launch himself against Izuku, who just dodged every blow he could and launched his counterattacks. It was a very close battle until Izuku launched an attack to make him retreat. Izuku, we have to finish this quickly. Muscular just launched himself at Izuku again. Izuku, water breathing, 7th stance, penetrating raindrops. In a quick movement, Izuku stabbed Muscular in the chest, thinking that he had finished him, but the moment he tried to pull out his sword, it was tied by Muscular's tissues to suddenly receive a blow that sent him to the ground, and Muscular quickly began to crush him, but Izuku used his sword to avoid this. Muscular became bigger and bigger by the creation of tissues. Muscular, come on kid, no, you were going to give me more of a fight, that's all, then let me enjoy seeing your blood, ha 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 ha. Izuku, don't believe yourself so much. But Izuku was slowly being crushed by muscle. Izuku, thinking, I'll really lose against him, that's all I can do. Muscular, once I'm done with you I'll go look for the girl and the boy, they still owe me for the other time, and after that I'll kill all your other teammates. The only thing I regret is not being able to see the face you'll make, ha ha ha. Izuku just remained silent. Muscular, maybe you already gave up, how bad then, die. But no matter how much muscle he put in, he didn't let up, it was as if something was preventing him. Izuku, I'm not going to lose. Meanwhile, with the others, Izumi warned the others of who the targets were and left Koda with Aizawa and gave the others permission to use their powers. Some villains had already fallen, but Bakugo had been captured. Everyone was gathered at the start of the test of courage where Magna had Pixie hostage while the others waited to get out of there. Mandalay, stop their villains because they attacked now. What is your mission? Mr. C, we're sorry, but telling our plans would ruin the show. Dobby, we got what we wanted. Twice, One is not missing and he must be muscular, or maybe he is dead, but that would be bad or good. Dabi, anyway, we have to go before something else happens. But before leaving, footsteps were heard coming from the forest to see Izumi, who came with Todoroki, Uraraka, Tsuyu and Shoji. Izumi, Mandalay, they have Bakugo and Tokoemi. Mandalay, what? Dabi, quick, let's go. In that a portal opened, the villains were about to go through it, but someone fell in the middle of them all. They turned to see who it was, to see Izuku hurt with wounds all over his body, but what surprised everyone the most was that in his hand he had the head of Muscular. This only attracted him. Asia, when the villains looked at him, his eyes were red like blood. Magna got angry and launched himself at him, but was counted in half with a single thrust. Izuku didn't think about it, and launched himself at the villains. Mr. Compressor tried to capture him, but his arm was cut off. He was only in shock and then received a blow to the stomach, and that is dispersed 2 celestial spheres. Izuku took them and threw them at the others so that Bakugo and Tokoemi came out of them. Izuku, if you love me so much, I'll go with you, he said, to take Dabi and Compress and enter the portal so that the other villains who are nearby also enter. The others were shocked and tried to go but were stopped by Mandalay, and the portal closed. Izumi, it can't be, we have to do something. Izuku went with the villains. What will happen if they kill him? Mandalay, I think he did it to get us away from them, but I still don't think they'll kill him since he was one of their targets. I think Izuku knew that if he didn't get something out of this, they would attack again. Izumi, but still, there is something to be said. Mandalay, don't worry, we'll find him, but first we have to see how the others are. Izumi just lowered her head and nodded. After a while, everyone began to gather in the camp area. The heroes had arrived and ambulances to care for the wounded, but among them all, someone was looking for a person. Momo, hey Izumi, haven't you seen Izuku? Izumi just hugged Momo and started crying. Izumi, they took him away, they took my brother away in front of my eyes. Momo was surprised and hugged Izumi tightly. Izumi fell to his knees at the news. He had no words to say. They just stood there. Bakugo, damn bastard, nobody asked for your help, he said while having a lowered look. The other students were taken home on the school's recommendation, and they suspended classes and quickly began to search for Izuku, but they didn't know how to find him until Momo arrived with the heroes and said that in Izuku's sword there was a tracker, since he said he never wanted to lose it, so he created a radar for them to look for him. But Momo also wanted to go look for Izuku, so with several of her classmates they went. They were Todoroki, Kirishima, Lida, Izumi and Bakugo, so tomorrow they would go to Izuku's rescue. Chapter 25, Almight vs AFO. In a hidden tavern was Izuku, who was tied to a chair, and in front of him was the League of Villains. Then the TV turns on, revealing a being dressed in black with a black helmet. But look who we have here, the best security guard who has succumbed to me. Izuku remained silent. What's wrong? Are you speechless, or do you fear for your life? Only a small laugh was heard before Izuku looked up and showed his red eyes. Izuku, do you really think you have me? Look at your team. Don't you think I can't kill them and get out of here all for one? AFO, so you know who I am then, because you haven't done it. Izuku, let's say I wait for you to be in front of me so I can watch your henchmen fall one by one without you being able to do anything. Tamura, damn brats, how dare you? AFO, wait, Tamura may be tied up, but he's still finished off many of us, and I want to have his power, so bring it to me. With that the TV went off and they were about to leave the place, but the wall of the bar was destroyed by Almight, who had come to the rescue. Almight, young Kamadu, we have come to rescue you. The villains had no chance and were caught by the Kamui branches. Almight, it's your end, League of Villains. But before he could squeeze them, they were transported by some kind of black matter and disappeared. Almight, curse. Meanwhile, with Momo and the others, they were in what looked like an abandoned warehouse. Izumi, what are we doing here? Momo, the truth is there is also a radar signal here. It must be from the Nomu that attacked us or from Izuku, but I can't say it clearly. Bakugo, then let's go in and find out. Kirishima, calm down, remember it's a discreet mission. But before saying anything else, the radar showed 2 signals which meant that Izuku was now inside. Izuku, where am I? AFO, no, you wanted to have me in front of you, well here I am. Izuku, you're a bastard. AFO, tell me why you are with them, you suffered more than any of us, better join us. Izuku, Ajajaja, sorry, but my sensei taught me to never betray my loved ones, something that your disciple does not understand. Besides, you think I can't defeat you. AFO, you can't, either you nor the symbol of peace, I'm imbecile. But before speaking more, the place was destroyed by All Might. AFO, it took you a while to get here, being so close you're getting weaker. All Might, I've come to stop you. He said to launch the attack against AFO. It was an even fight, but All Might was holding back since Izuku was still there. Momo, what's going on? Izumi, All Might is fighting someone and Izuku is in the middle of this battle, we have to do something. Momo, I have an idea. Back with All Might and AFO, they were hitting each other. AFO, that's all you have. Have you weakened so much all the might? All Might, this is enough to give you your end. At that moment, several reporters' helicopters arrived at the scene. AFO, I think we have an audience, it's perfect, now everyone will see the end of their symbol. At that moment, from behind a wall, an ice ramp appeared and Izumi shot up into the sky, and with Bakugo's stations they gained more height. At that moment, Momo peeked out. Momo, Izuku jumps. Izuku just jumped towards them. Izuku, you're an idiot, what are you doing here? Momo, I came for you. Izuku, I don't want to put you in danger, so take this. He said to give something to Momo. Izuku, Todoroki, Kirishima and Bakugo, please don't let her or Izumi come back, please. He said to jump back to the battlefield where he could see his sword from under the rubble. Momo, Izuku. Bakugo, damn nerd, always complicating everything. He said to leave the place and take them to another place away from risk. AFO, we have someone here who wants to act brave. All Might, young Kamadu, what is he doing here, Valles? Izuku, I'm sorry, but he owes me something and I won't leave until I return the favor. He said, raising his sword. At that, several portals opened and Nomus came out. AFO, Kurajire, take everyone out of here, I'll take care of it. Tamura sensei. Kurajire, let's go Tamura, those are orders. At that point the entire Villain League left the place, leaving AFO alone with Nomus. Izuku, All Might, I'll take care of the Nomus. At that Izuku launched an attack. Izuku, Breath of Darkness, Tense Stance, Purgatory Dragon. At that moment a black dragon with purple parts came out of the sword that cut the Nomus as if it were nothing. In addition to burning them with the black flames, Izuku slowly took care of all the Nomus without losing rhythm. Once he finished, he went to help All Might and launched an attack towards AFO that he dodged, and now it was 2 against 1, but even so, AFO did not seem to lose power, in that he launched a blow with several combined quirks that threw Izuku and All Might back. He alone approached Izuku and took him by the head to begin to crush him. AFO, that's all you have, but your power is incredible, I'll use it with respect, now get out of here. He said to throw Izuku into the rubble, hurt, and a point unconscious. Everyone was surprised by this, but All Might angry launched the attack. Meanwhile, in the center of the city on a screen was transmitted what happened, and in front of it was the group of the UA who were shocked by what happened. Momo and Izumi fell to their knees and began to shed tears. At that, Momo remembered that Izuku had given her something, and when she opened her hand she saw a small light blue marble that when she broke it came out Ragdoll, who was unconscious and hurt. The others came out of shock to see it, and quickly went to help the heroine. Momo, you're an idiot for always worrying about others, but please don't lose. Back in battle, All Might was feeling bad, his time was running out, and his body was starting to change. AFO hit him with a blow that All Might could barely protect, but his time was up. Now, All Might was in his skeletal form. Everyone saw how their symbol was being defeated. AFO, but look, we have a bag of bones here, and what happened with that smile? Harassment, you can't fight anymore, come on, he who smiles is strong. He said while he could put his fingers on his cheeks, making a smile. All Might just be in shock at this, but he didn't have the strength to follow his flame, he was at the limit. AFO, And yet your teacher trusted you, and look, you are just a disappointment, and your successor, I hope, is not a disappointment like you. Not even the vigilante demon himself could do anything to me, so this is your end. I will only tell you something. Tamura is Nana's grandson. At this, All Might lowered his gaze in disappointment. He didn't know what he had just said. He failed to protect his sensei, his student, and now his sensei's family. He didn't know what to do. He stood there static while Asia grew her arm, empowered by her quirks. AFO, farewell, symbol of peace. AFO was about to hit All Might, who wasn't moving. Everyone was scared by this. They didn't know what was going to happen. That impact created a cloud of dust, and no one knew what had happened. When the dust cleared, no one believed what they were seeing. Izuku was in front of All Might, stopping AFO's attack. Izuku, breath of darkness, fourth stance, 1,000 cuts. With that, several cuts appeared on AFO's arm. Everyone was surprised by this. AFO, damn, how are you still alive? Izuku, All Might is fine. All Might, young Kamadu. Izuku, from now on I'll take care of it, so rest. I'll help level that weight you're carrying. All Might, what are you talking about, young Kamadu? You won't be able to beat him alone. Izuku, I'm not going to fight alone. At that moment, a black cat arrived at the battlefield and quickly climbed onto Izuku's shoulder before everyone's eyes. Izuku, are you ready, Black? Black, meow. Izuku, I hope you're ready because we will defeat you. Chapter 26, By My Blood. Izuku was under some rubble, badly injured and unconscious, but something was happening in his mind. Izuku, so this is my limit. I can't defeat him. I couldn't protect anyone. What was the point of all my training if I was defeated? Is this my end? He said as he fell into an endless abyss. But in the real world everything stopped, and then a cat appeared on the battlefield and went where Izuku was. What's wrong, human? Can't you fight anymore? Are you already dying? Then it's your end. I thought you had a lot of things to protect. Izuku, I can't do anything anymore. I can't feel my body. I think now I want to rest. I don't want to fight anymore. So what will happen to them? At that, several voices came to Izuku's mind. Izumi, brother. Emilio, Izuku. Elizabeth, Izuku. Alfred, young Izuku. Kirishima, Izuku. Bakugo, Deku. Todoroki, Kamadu. Each voice that was heard illuminated that abyss a little more until something made him react. Momo, Izuku. With that, Izuku's eyes regained their shine and he began to move. That's what I thought. Come on, human, show me your true strength. Listen to the voices of the people who care about you. At that, Izuku emerged from the rubble and stood in front of the cat. Izuku, tell me what you are. I think it's time to tell you that you've matured a lot. The cat transformed into a human figure when he saw it. Well, it was Izuku but with a cat's tail and ears. I am D and I am your power. Izuku, so you're my quirk. D, I am not something better or worse, I am your demon power. Izuku, demon power. D, do you really think you survived what your family did to you? Luckily, Tanjiro didn't give you his blood, even though he knew that if you lost control he would kill you, but he wanted to. You run the risk, that's why you have more strength and resistance than the others, but your demon power hasn't fully awakened. You haven't become a demon yet, you're still more human. But if you accept me, I will help you to be able to use it, not all of it, but part of it. Izuku, so he really saved me, he bet everything on me and I carry his blood, so yes, I am his son. He said with a smile as he looked at his hand. Izuku, then I'll become a demon. D, you won't just be half demon to use your power, he'll help you. He said so that a black cat climbed onto Izuku's shoulder. D, he will be the one who will carry your demonic power when you want to use it, he will join you and your techniques will have an evolution. Izuku, so you'll be my partner. Meow. Izuku, and what is his name? D, you can name it. Izuku, then you'll be Black. Black, meow meow. At that, Izuku saw how AFO was about to hit All Might, who was in his civilian form. Izuku, there's no time, tell me what I can do to use my power. D, just say Nyankoi Discord and your partner will join you. Izuku understood, thanks. Currently. AFO, so you're coming back to get me to finish you off. Izuku, I'm sorry but things took a different turn, didn't they, Black? Black, meow. AFO, do you think that cat scares me? All Might, young Kamadu, get out of here. Izuku, I'm sorry but I'm not one of those who run away. Besides, I also have people to protect and I won't give up. Go to a safe place because what's going to happen now won't be pretty. AFO, you think you can defeat me? You're just a brat who doesn't know his place. I'm the one who instills fear in everyone. I'm the one who controls everything in the darkness. I'm evil incarnate. Izuku, and that doesn't matter, we will finish you off, so Black, are you ready? Black, meow. He said to nod his head. Izuku then walked Nyankoi Discord. At that point, a dark tornado formed where Izuku was. Everyone was surprised. At that point, Izuku made a slash that dispelled the tornado to see an Izuku with his black hair, blood-red eyes with a feline pupil, and a cat's tail and black ears. Everyone was surprised by the change that just happened to Izuku. AFO, so that's your quirk, it will be a pleasure to take it. He said to launch himself against Izuku, who took him by the head and tried to steal his quirk. Izuku, Ahawk, no kidding. He said to kick AFO, which made him step back. Izuku, I'm sorry but what I'm using is not a quirk, so you won't be able to steal anything. I just have something else to tell you. AFO, what color is your blood? At that, AFO felt a brief chill run through his entire body. Izuku just took his sword and prepared for the attack. Izuku, you'll be the first to witness my new techniques, so be proud. Chaos breathing, first stance, chaotic slash. He said to throw a slash at AFO, who couldn't react in time and his arm was cut off. AFO, but what the heck? Izuku, what's up? No, you are invincible. This is just the beginning, so let's dance. Chaos breathing, second pose, chaos dance. He said, launching into an attack at a speed that no one could follow. AFO was barely able to dodge the first attack that the black-haired man launched, but he didn't stop there. Izuku launched attack after attack. It seemed like he was moving like a cat with agility and elegance. AFO didn't know what to do, so he channeled many quirks into his remaining arm and hit Izuku, causing him to raise a lot of smoke. He thought he had defeated him, but he was thrown up. Izuku, did you really think that would stop me? I'm sorry, but this will be your grave. At that, Izuku jumps and cuts his other arm completely. He only fell to the ground, bleeding out, but the wounds were closing due to the infinite number of quirks he had. Izuku just approached and put his foot on his head. Izuku, and you say you call yourself the symbol of evil if you're just a rat that just hunted this cat? Now tell me your last words. AFO, you think you won, there are still things you don't know. It doesn't matter if I die, he will replace me and kill you. You have no salvation, brat. But Izuku just had a serious look to which AFO didn't see any expression. Izuku, and that's all, because when he comes for me I'll send him along with you. I'm no longer a human in my entirety, so goodbye, AFO. Chaos breathing, fifth stance, cataclysm. At that, Izuku plunged his sword into AFO's chest, who screamed in pain as he turned into dust. Once AFO completely turned into dust, Izuku put away his katana and his transformation was reversed. The black cat that stood next to him appeared again. No one came out of shock. A young man just killed the strongest villain of all. All Might just approached Izuku and touched his shoulder. All Might, well done, young Kamadu. I'm sorry for being so hard on you. You did something I would never have done, so thank you. But Izuku didn't answer and just fell unconscious, but before hitting the ground, All Might grabbed him. The reporters were arriving at the place along with all the other heroes, and All Might took Izuku to an ambulance to be treated. Reporter, All Might, please tell us what you think about what just happened. All Might thought what he wanted to say and just said, All Might, I think my mentality was wrong. I always thought that a hero is someone who saves people, who brings hope to people, because he showed me that there can be heroes who scare villains and that it doesn't matter if they discriminate against him, they will never give up. I think what he said a long time ago is true. This world needs to change and now it's his turn to do it. he said, pointing at the camera, while in the center the UA students saw that Momo had already left to go with Izuku, while Izumi shed tears that she wiped and said to herself, "Izumi, I will." Chapter 27: The History of the Past. Izuku was lying in a hospital bed while next to him was Momo holding his hand. In front of her was Ryukyu and the director waiting for them to wake up, but they saw the little black cat that was lying on Izuku's chest. He hadn't left his side all this time. "Ryukyu, what will that cat be?" When Izuku appeared, stopping AFO's attack, the cat appeared with him to later fuse. "Will his quirk have awakened?" "Nizu, I don't know, but we'll know when he wakes up, but he's been like this for 2 days now. Even if he's better, we don't know how long it will take him to wake up." "Momo, I know he'll wake up, so I'll be here when he does." "Ryukyu, tell me, Momo, do you know what happened to him because he acquired that form?" "Momo, no, he always said he didn't have a quirk, and it was true. Whenever they did clinical exams on him, it never appeared that he had a quirk, but even so, he regenerated his wounds faster than a normal human. He always had a lot of energy. We thought it was because of his training, but when he took on that appearance, something came to mind." "Nizu, and what was it?" "Momo, Izuku always told me that his sensei was someone kind and strong, that he fought with demons with different aspects and powers, each one different from the last. He told me that demons could acquire great strength and regeneration, and also a unique ability of theirs, and when Izuku took that form it made me remember those demons." "Nizu, you think the young Kamadu turned into a demon?" "Momo, I don't know, but that look he had that overflowed with bloodlust, in addition to that gloomy appearance, was the same as how he described it. But I don't care if he is him, he will always be Izuku to me, that's why I want him to wake up." The two adults just looked at each other and left the place, leaving the young woman alone, but in Izuku's mind something was happening. He was sitting in a great dark abyss, and in front of him was the cat. Then the cat took human form and sat in front of him. "Izuku, so tell me what I really am." First I will tell you a story so you understand. A long time ago, before quirks existed, humanity had an enemy. That enemy were demons that fed on people. Although demons had a great weakness, the sun, through this an association was created to exterminate them, the demon slayers. They had special swords bathed by the power of the sun. In addition to using breathing techniques that were given by the strongest hunter, the battle lasted many years. The person responsible for the existence of demons was Muzan, a very powerful demon who could turn people into demons. But Muzan was defeated one day at the cost of many lives, but even so, there was still a demon that was born from Muzan's last effort to live. He was Kamadu Tanjiro, the first demon who endured the sun. At first, he lost control, but thanks to the others, he was able to control himself. But since he was a demon, he decided to get away from the city and live in a mountain. His family and friends were dying little by little, leaving Tanjiro alone fighting to maintain his control. "Izuku, so my sensei was a demon." Not just any demon. He had the pure blood of Muzan, and like him he could turn people into demons. That's why when he found you he gave you a little of his blood to save your life. "Izuku, I see, then the demon who told me that he could attack humanity was the one." That's right, I trained you not only to fulfill your dream but also to fulfill his." "Izuku, finish off Muzan." That's right, right now you don't know where your sensei's body is. But I'll tell you something, he didn't die in that attack." "Izuku, then I have to get stronger." That's right, but you won't fight this battle, only people will come to help you when you deserve it." "Izuku, I've never fought alone, I've always had someone on my side," he said as he took out a slightly battered doll from his suit. "Izuku, plus now I have Black." Black came out from Izuku's back and stood on his shoulder. "Black, meow." "Izuku, so there's nothing to worry about. I'm not going to lose that fight. Losing would mean breaking all my promises," he said to get up and walk away from along with Black. I hope so," he said to disappear into the darkness. In reality, Momo left the room to go to the bathroom. When she returned she didn't find Izuku. She got alarmed and started looking for him until she got to the roof of the hospital, where she saw him standing looking at the city with Black on his shoulder. Momo slowly approached Izuku. "Izuku, it's good to see you're okay," he said without turning to look at her, and Momo said nothing. "Izuku, I'll understand if you're afraid of me. I'm not human and. He couldn't finish because Momo hugged him from behind so tightly that Izuku felt his back getting wet with Momo's tears. Momo, I would never be afraid of you, you are the most important person to me. I was afraid that you wouldn't wake up when I saw you under the rubble. I had the worst. When I saw you in that form, I was afraid, but I felt that you were still you, that's why I don't care if you are not a human. I love you. Izuku froze to separate Momo a little from the hug and turned to see her. He looked into her eyes that had tears in them. Izuku could only look at her and hug her so tightly that he didn't want to let her go. Momo reciprocated the hug and felt her shoulder get wet. Izuku, I was scared too. I can pretend to be strong, but inside I'm still the same idiot kid who cried for everything. I was so scared of never seeing you again, that my appearance would push you away from me, that you wouldn't be by my side. All of that made my heart fear. You are one of the few people who accepted me as I am, and you are the only one who has seen me break. That's why I asked you not to walk away from me. Momo, I'll never do it. I have to take care of this crying fool. The two separated to look into each other's eyes and give each other a tender kiss on the lips. Izuku and Momo, I love you. Chapter 28 The Big Three. It had been 2 days since Izuku woke up, and now Izuku was at home along with Momo. They were ready to go back to school. When they got to the classroom, everyone turned to look at him. No one said anything until someone knocked him down. Izumi, brother, are you okay? I'm very happy. Izuku, calm down, Izumi. I'm not going to die yet, so let me get up. He said while stroking her head. She just nodded and stood up. Some more came closer and were happy that she was okay, but among them all, a little haired boy was in front of him. They all fell silent and stood face to face. Bakugo, you know I never asked for your help, right? Izuku, and I never asked for your permission to save you. Bakugo, I still think you're the same nerd as before. Izuku, and I already showed you that it's not like that. Bakugo, and then I promise you that one day I'll mop the floor with your face. Izuku, well, good luck with that, since you're no good to me even for warming up. Bakugo just smiled and said something in murmurs that Izuku understood, and then went to sit down. Everyone was shocked by that conversation, but Izuku just walked and sat down. The others came out of shock and did the same. Momo, hey Izuku, what was that? Momo, why do you say that? Izuku, because I know him and I feel that he doesn't want to stay stuck anymore. Momo just nodded and sat back down in her seat. Izuku just turned to look out the window, and the word Bakugo said in a whisper came to mind. It was a sincere thank you. Although he understood that she was human, thanking him was a big step for him. Time passed and Professor Aizawa entered the classroom and the class began. Aizawa, listen carefully, leaving aside everything that happened today. I will talk to you about the internships you are going to do. Mineta, internships are like what we did after the festival. Izuku, no, this is totally different since in practice we had a hero always taking care of us, now we depend on ourselves on a mission. Aizawa, so now you're going to have to do the work of a hero without supervision. Depending on your performance is how you'll be graded. And so you can understand a little about this, I've invited some third-year students to tell you a little about their experiences. They're known as the Big Three. Uraraka, the Big Three? What do you mean? Izuku, they are the 3 students from the school who are at the level of a professional and who could be the next symbols of peace. Everyone was surprised by this. Izuku, thinking if they come she will come. Damn, today I didn't want to deal with her. At that moment there is a knock on the door and 2 men and a woman come out, the 3 of them stand in front of the group. Nice to meet you, I'm Mirio, she's Nijire and he's Tamaki, we're known as the Big Three. Mirio, today we're here to talk to you a little about what your internship will be like, so. But before continuing to speak he was interrupted by the light-haired girl. Nijire, hey, tell me, do you get tape from your elbows? And is that hair on you? Do you have 6 arms? Everyone was sweating because of the attitude of the light blue-haired girl until she saw a green-haired man who approached. Nijire, hi Izuku, I see you're out of the hospital. Are you feeling okay now? Can you still fight? Or will you lose your spot with Ryukyu? Izuku, Nerage, please calm down a little. You always end up doing that and making everyone uncomfortable. From that, a black kitten climbs onto Izuku's shoulder. Black meow. Nijire, is this your kitten? Where did you get it? Is it very cute? Izuku, he's my partner and seriously, stop that attitude, that's why Ryukyu leaves me in charge of the missions. Nijire, what are you saying? I'm Ryukyu's favorite. Izuku, seriously, tell me who she puts in charge when she's not there or who takes important meetings, huh? Nijire remained silent and just pouted. Izuku, it seems I'm right, better continue with something they came for. Nijire said nothing and returned to the other side angrily. Mirio, well, following what we were talking about, your internships will be different from what you have experienced. That's why I came up with something. You are going to fight against me. All what? Mirio, say, I'll see you at the beta arena. He said to go out with the other two. The others also went to the locker room to change. Izuku went to where Mirio. Izuku, Mirio. Mirio, what's up, Kamadu? Izuku, I just wanted to tell you something. I want you to wear clothes that your suit is made of. If you want, just pants or shorts. Mirio, and that's because. Izuku, Nijire told me a little about what your quirk is about and my girlfriend is in the living room and I don't want her to see you naked like this. Either you use it or I won't give you time to use your quirk, your decision, okay? Mirio just gulped and nodded. Izuku, it's good that we understand each other. Izuku just left the place, and the three big ones stood there. Nijire, Mirio, you better listen to him because otherwise I think you're going to end up in a bad way. Mirio, I understand. The three went to prepare for the confrontation. Time passed and Group A was facing the big three in the beta arena. Mirio, well, since we're all here, get ready because this will start when this coin hits the ground. He said to throw the coin. Everyone prepared for battle. The moment the coin touched the ground, Mirio disappeared. Everyone stood on guard so Mirio could come out behind him and hit Aoyama, Siro. Mineta and Tsuyu, the four, fell exhausted. Everyone saw Mirio with black shorts, but nobody knew what happened. Without leaving time, Mirio disappeared again to start attacking everyone else. Nobody could predict his movements. One by one he fell before Mirio's attack. Momo was waiting and analyzing the situation until she felt someone behind her and dodged it to see Mirio about to hit her. Momo reacted quickly and created a wooden sword and tried to hit Mirio, but his sword pierced it. Mirio was going to hit Momo in his stomach but was stopped by a hand. Izuku, I'm sorry but I won't let you leave my girlfriend with a stomach ache. Black meow. Mirio just broke free and walked away from them. Izuku, you did well, Momo, but you still need to train. Take care of Black for me. Momo, but he is not part of your power. Izuku, of course, but I haven't controlled it yet and I don't want to hurt anyone, so I borrowed that sword. He said to take the wooden sword and go stand in front of Mirio. Izuku, now it's just you and me so I hope you give me a fight. Mirio, let's see what the demon slayer is made of. Izuku just smiled and prepared for the fight. Chapter 29, Mirio vs. Izuku. Izuku, I hope you're ready. Mirio, I want to see the power of the person who defeated the greatest villain. The two looked at each other with determination. They remained still waiting for one of the two to make a move. The sound of a rock falling gave way to the start of the battle. The two launched themselves into the attack. Izuku tried to slash Mirio's chest but his sword pierced him, quickly using it to block a blow from Mirio. The two moved away from each other to prepare their next attack. Izuku launched himself first to try to land a blow but each one of them only passed through him. Mirio became completely intangible and fell to the ground. Izuku went on defense waiting for the attack. Everything was calm until Mirio shot out from behind him. Izuku used his sword to defend himself but Mirio's fist passed through him, but he still managed to dodge the blow and throw a kick in the face that only passed through him. The two took a great leap back and took their distance again. Izuku, I see that title suits you well. Mirio, and now I see why both heroes and villains fear you. I feel like I could die at any second. Izuku, I think you're right and because I got so excited I'll show you something I haven't shown anyone yet. Mirio, this will be exciting. Izuku went to Momo and asked for another wooden sword. Now he had one in each hand. Izuku, Although I'm not good with 2 swords yet, that doesn't mean I'm less dangerous. Mirio, I hope so, otherwise it would get boring. Izuku, one of the people who trained me used 2 swords and I've always wondered what it would be like to use them, but I wanted to take it further, that's why I want you to be my little animal buddy. Mirio, hee, I want to see what you're going to do. I'm sure you've already thought of a plan, haven't you? Izuku, you are wrong to use both swords. I will not use my mind, but I will let myself be carried away by my instincts, and I will look like a wild beast attacking its prey. Mirio, so you see me as prey, then come on, I'll show you that this prey also has teeth. Izuku launched an attack at Mirio, who managed to dodge it, but on the other hand, the second sword was aimed at his chest but only ended up piercing it. Mirio tried to hit him but was blocked by one of the swords while the other went for his head. Mirio managed to dodge the attack but received a cut on his cheek and moved away from Izuku. Mirio just touched the scratch, he had to smile. Mirio, I see, so this is what you were referring to, a wave of attacks that you don't know where they will come from. That's like fighting with 2 swords. Izuku, more or less, but my sensei was more aggressive and agile. I still can't be faster than him, but there's always a way to defeat you. Flashback. Inosuke, you're not doing it wrong, you have to be more aggressive, more agile, you have to fight like a beast. Izuku, I try but I'm still not as fast as your sensei. Inosuke, then find a way and swing your swords to not let your opponent rest, make him think twice before attacking you. Izuku, hi. Inosuke, so let's hit that tree 100 times with our heads. Izuku, yeah. Zenitsu, Inosuke, no, but this animal is right about something. If you can't get used to its speed, it will find a way. Be as fast as lightning and as aggressive as a beast. Izuku, hi. End of flashback. Izuku, senseis, I think I've found the way. I hope you're ready, Mirio, because now I'll go all out. Mirio, go ahead. Izuku, dual breathing, wind and lightning, tense stance, storm beast. Izuku went out with great speed towards Mirio, who could barely react to the attack and cover himself, but Mirio noticed something behind Izuku. He saw a tiger formed of lightning and wind that every time Izuku attacked he felt the instinct of that beast. Izuku's attacks became faster and more frantic. Mirio goes alone to defend himself without the opportunity to attack. He decided to give him a surprise attack, so he got into the floor and tried to attack him from behind, but Izuku dodged it instantly. Mirio continued attacking, but none of his attacks reached. When he tried to attack him again, Izuku predicted it and launched an attack at his head, but Mirio was able to make the attack go through him, but he did not see Izuku's second attack that hit him in the stomach and threw him towards the wall, crashing him and leaving him unconscious. Izuku, ugh, that was tiring. Nijire/Tamaki, Mirio. Izuku, calm down, he just hit him hard, he'll be fine. At that moment, Momo came with Black in her arms to be close. The cat jumped on Asia Izuku and got on her shoulder. Momo, Izuku, that was amazing. Izuku, thanks for giving me the swords, but I think they didn't hold up. Momo, what do you mean? Then he saw the swords that were destroyed, the only thing left was the handle of these. Momo, how did it happen? Izuku, apparently I used a lot of force, But before continuing with their conversation, Nijire and Tamaki approached, carrying an injured Mirio. Izuku, and how is it? Mirio, not very well, actually. Izuku, so you're already conscious. I thought you'd stay asleep a little longer. Mirio, no, I'm not one of the big 3 for nothing, but even so, now I feel a chill in front of you. If you left me like this without using your 100%, I don't want to see what you'll do when you have control over your power. Izuku, calm down, this power is to protect, not to kill the innocent. It would be better if you go to rest. Mirio, I think you're right. Nijire, Tamaki would take me to the infirmary. Nijire, of course, we are friends for a reason. Tamaki just nodded. Izuku, well, see you later. The 3 left the field and the rest of Izuku's group approached their teacher. Some were still shocked by the fight they saw, while others were a little scared seeing Izuku's strength. Classes continued normally. Everyone eventually returned to their homes to finish the day, but somewhere in the city something very different was happening. And how are the results going? 2. Well, if we continue like this, we will have the desired result very soon. And the girl hasn't caused any problems. 2. No, it hasn't caused so many problems anymore. Alright. The two men walked to a room, and when they opened the door they saw a girl with white hair, red eyes and a little horn on her head. Listen, Eri, you better not continue with your mischief or things will get worse for you, so sleep and nothing bad will happen. She just nodded and laid down on the bed. The guys left the room and tears began to come out of her eyes to whisper a few words. Eri, Izuku Naiken, where are you? I'm scared. Chapter 30 Internships. It was a new day at UA school. All the students were in the classroom thinking about who they were going to do their internship with. Izumi, brother, where are you going to do your internship? Izuku, Ryukyu and you have already decided who you are going to do it with. Izumi, I'm going to go with Sir Nightai All Night and Mirio recommended me to go with him, so I'll give my best effort. Izuku, I see, cheer up, and who are you going with? Momo, I'm going to go with a heroine along with Kendo. Izumi, I thought you two would go with the same hero. Izuku, no, Momo said that she wanted to make her own way and that I wouldn't help her. Momo, Izuku has already supported me a lot, now it's my time to show him that I can take care of myself too. Izumi, I see, so I'll cheer for both of them. Momo, you too. Izuku, our Ryukyu is going to give me a lot of work for all the time I was at school, and Nejiri invited Uraraka and Tsuyu, so there will be more missions that I will have to do. Momo, you decided to do that, so you have to endure it. Izuku, it will be a long internship. The days passed and the students were ready for their internships. Each one went to the association that was assigned to them and were ready to do their hero tasks. At the agency of the heroine number 10, Nijire was arriving with Tsuyu and Uraraka. Nijire, and welcome to the Ryukyu agenda. Uraraka, wow, the place is very big, thanks for recommending us. Tsuyu, yes, it will be a great help to be here. Nijire, okay, let me give you a tour of the place. Nijire took the two to see the place until they reached the Ryukyu office. Nijire, and here is Ryukyu's office. But from the other side screams were heard. Ryukyu, I told you that this would be your punishment, so you would have to endure it. Izuku, but this paperwork is too much, and then you want me to take care of missions, you're a monster. Uraraka, what's going on there? Nijire, I think Izuku has another argument with Ryukyu. Tsuyu, because I thought they got along well, Kero. Nijire, they do, but Ryukyu has high expectations for him, and she wants him to be her successor when she retires, although she says she won't do it. Uraraka, seriously, she thinks she's going to inherit her agency. Tsuyu, but why doesn't he want to do it, Kero? Nijire, because he doesn't consider himself a hero. Even if he does good things, he doesn't feel like he deserves all this, and that's why he trains me. Uraraka, what are you talking about? Nijire, Izuku doesn't want to be the one who inherits the agency, so he told Ryukyu that I should be it, even though she knows that I can still think that I'm very childish. That's why Izuku tries to change me and make me equal, or better than Ryukyu herself. Tsuyu, I see, then Kamadu is a good person. Nijire, it is, although a little harsh with the practices. But again a loud scream was heard. Izuku, damn! I was entertained a lot, I have to go out on patrol. Our conversation isn't over yet, you hear? He said to leave the office and run into the three. Izuku, I see you've arrived. I hope Nijire has already given you the tour. And before I leave, don't forget that your training starts when I get back. Nijire, Izuku-sensei. Izuku, I told you to stop calling me that, Aya. I don't have time for this, bye. Nijire, as you can see, he's always so busy, so you better make an effort too. Uraraka White Tsuyu, no Kero. Meanwhile at Sir Izumi's agency, Mirio had arrived at Sir's office to talk to him. Upon entering, the atmosphere became serious, and Sir asked Mirio and his assistant to leave to speak directly with Izumi. Sir, so you are Almight's successor because he chose you. Tell me why you came here. Do you really think you can become the new symbol of peace? Izumi was nervous, she didn't know what to say. Izumi, I don't know. Sir, then why don't you give up the one for all to give it to someone worthwhile? Izumi just stayed silent, she didn't know what to say. Sir, tell me what you want to prove because you accepted it. If you have nothing to say, it would be better if I challenge you. But before saying anything, Izumi raised his head and looked directly into Sir's eyes and spoke. Izumi, you're right, I feel like I shouldn't be her successor. I only accepted to become stronger, and show everyone how superior I was. Sir, then you are not worthy of that power. Izumi, but that changed when my brother came back, he changed me, he cut the strings that controlled me, I stopped being my parents' puppet, for the first time I could decide what I wanted to do. Sir, and that makes you worthy. Izumi, of course I haven't met more people who would be worthy than me, but... Sir, but what? Izumi, I want to take this power as a second chance that I can be a better hero. I no longer want to be the shadow of my parents, but the light that illuminates the path of those who need it. I chose this name to give it a new meaning and to tell my brother that I have changed. I will no longer let anyone control me, and I will show you that I am worthy of being the new symbol of peace. Sir, I see, but I hope you're ready, because the moment I see that you're not a hero, I'll force you to hand over that power. But first, tell me what kind of hero you want to be. Izumi, before I just wanted to show that I would become someone strong, that I would be the best of all and that no one would surpass me. But now that I have seen the reality, if my brother calls himself a demon and the one who works in the shadows, then I will be the one who illuminates that darkness. I will be an eternal flame that will never go out, and will guide everyone to the true light. I will not let anyone else suffer. Sir, okay, I'll accept you for my internship, but I still don't agree. I hope you're up to it. Mirio, come in. Mirio inside the hall. Sir, take Deku on patrol with you. Mirio, understood, let's go, Izumi. Inventions, yes. The two left the office. Sir, that girl is still inexperienced, but in her eyes reflected that torch that illuminated everything. I'm going to see how you grow and see if everything you told me is true. Meanwhile, Mirio and Izumi walked through the streets of the city. Mirio, and how was your talk with Sir? Izumi, I was very tough, I was so nervous, but if Izuku can go very far, I couldn't lose just for a talk, so I will do my best to show him that I will become a great heroine, both to him and to Sir. Mirio, well said, let's give our best. Izumi, Jaja, of course it is. They followed them walking through the city until a girl came out of an alley and collided with Izumi, who quickly helped her up. Izumi, girl, are you okay? The little girl just looked up and saw the figure of a green-haired boy she knew very well. She clung to Izumi. Eri, Izuku can help me please. Mirio/Izumi, A. Chapter 31 Eri. Izumi, girl, are you okay? What's wrong? The little girl looked better at who she had collided with to see a girl with green hair. Eri, please help me. I want to be with Izuku Nikan. Izumi, with Izuku where I met him. But before saying anything else, Mirio covered her face with his mask. She didn't know why, but she heard footsteps coming from the alley and the little girl came out. She just picked her up and looked at the guy. Thank you very much, heroes, for helping me catch my little one. She is very naughty. Mirio, no problem, but can I ask why the little one has those bandages? She's just very naughty and gets hurt a lot, so it's better if we go, don't cause any more problems. The little girl clung closer to Izumi, and small tears began to fall on his shoulder. Izumi, but she seems to be afraid of you. Tell me who you are. Ah, that's why I don't like heroes. It would be better to talk here, unless you want to involve civilians. The two followed the subject into the alley. Mirio, so who are you? That's not important, Eri, it would be better if you came unless you want something to happen to them. The girl became alarmed and loosened her grip, but before separating the girl gave something to Izumi and whispered something in his ear before separating from her and standing next to the man. The two proceeded to leave, but Izumi wanted to go help her, but Mirio stopped her. Izumi, because Mirio. Mirio, we don't know anything about that guy. It would be better to warn, sir, so we can plan something. Rushing blindly into a battle only gets you killed. He said so that Izumi clenched his fists, but when he felt something in one of them to see what the little girl gave him and to see a photo of her with two people he knew very well and to remember what the little girl said. Eri, please find Izuku-nikin and give him this, please, heroine. Izumi just clenched her fist harder to look at the photo and see the little girl next to a green-haired boy and a brunette. Izumi, let's go back quickly, we have to save her. Mirio just nodded for the two to leave the place. Meanwhile at the Ryukyu agency there were 3 girls running on a track. They already looked very tired. These 3 were Tsuyu, Uraraka and Nijire who were training. Uraraka, Nijire, you really train like this every day? Nijire, no, sometimes it's worse when he gets angry or I make a mistake. Tsuyu, and how often does that happen, Kero? Nijire, almost all the time, hee. Izuku, if you still have air to talk, keep running. The 3 of them were frightened and quickened their pace. Izuku, there are these girls. At that moment Izuku's phone rang, so he went to answer it, and see that it was Ryukyu. Izuku, what's up, Ryukyu? Ryukyu, tomorrow we're going to have a meeting with some agencies, so rest the rest of the day. Izuku, understood, and what is the meeting about? Ryukyu, a new drug has appeared and they want to know where it came from. Izuku, and what's so special about that drug? Ryukyu, can erase quirks. Izuku, understood, no more questions, bye. Ryukyu, goodbye. The call had ended, but Izuku's face was serious. He just turned to see the other 3 who were still running. Izuku, that's enough. He said so that the 3 Isaws fell to the ground. Izuku, go take a bath and change, that's all for today. Nijire, why Izuku? Izuku, tomorrow we have a meeting about something, so you better be ready, or this training will be a walk in the park compared to what I'm going to put you through. The 3 of them stood in a military pose saying, yes sir, to grab their things and run to the showers. Izuku, this is going to get tough. But then a black cat jumped onto his shoulder. Black meow. Izuku, we have to be ready for whatever comes, right? He said, stroking the cat's head just to leave the place. A new day had arrived and the representatives of the Ryukyu agency were already on their way to the meeting. Izuku, remember to behave, we are only heroes in practice, so we just have to listen and answer what is asked of us. Uraraka, Tsuyu, understood. Nijire, but don't get nervous, get used to it. After all, you'll have to go through more things like this if you want to be a great heroine. The 2 nodded at what the blue-haired girl said and continued their journey. Upon arrival, they saw several heroes gathered at a large round table. In addition to the heroes, there were also some of their companions sitting next to their respective agencies. Everything was silent until Senior entered the room to start the meeting. Sir, thank you for coming as soon as possible. We are in a hurry. We have received news that a group of Yakuzas led by a villain named Overhaul has been developing bullets that eliminate people's quirks. We still don't know how developed their invention is, but yesterday Fat Gum and his companions were attacked by those same bullets. Luckily, they only had a minimal effect, but even so, we have to assume that they will always be there. Fat that's right, even though they were minor villains, they had them. Luckily, one of the bullets bounced off Red Riot's skin, and we were able to recover a sample of what it contains. SR, we have investigated what was inside this bullet, and found traces of human cells inside it. Rocklock, so you're saying the villains are using people to create those bullets? Sir, not people, but people. Lemillion and Deku ran into Overhaul and a little girl who had parts of her body bandaged, so we have to assume that they got the cells from her. Lemillion, that's right, during our teaching, the girl collided with Deku. When we could see her better, she was a little girl with gray hair, red eyes, and a small body on her head. Because of that description, Izuku became alert and an image quickly came to his head. Lemillion, when we tried to leave the place, Overhaul came out of the same place as the little girl and forced her to return with her without us being able to do anything, but he called her by a name, Eri. At that moment the loud sound of a bang on and the sound of a chair falling to the floor, everyone turned to see a green-haired man standing with his hands on the table. Raikou, demon, that happens. He didn't say anything and just walked over to where Lemillion was and grabbed him by the collar of his suit to lift him up. Demon, because you didn't do anything to stop it, because you let her go, and that's how you call yourself a hero. Nobody understood what was happening, but another green-haired girl reacted and hugged Demon from behind to calm him down. Deku, calm down, brother. She went with him because she didn't want him to do anything to us. She still hasn't forgotten you. She left something for you. With that, Demon released Lemillion so that he fell on his butt and turned to look at Deku. Deku, here, I'll leave this for you. She still hasn't forgotten you. She's waiting for you to come rescue her, so don't be alarmed. Demon just took the photo to look at it closely and gritted his teeth. It was a photo of her with him and Momo, but they looked younger. He just clenched his fist to hit the nearest wall he had and started walking towards the exit. Ryukyu, where are you going, Demon? Demon, I have to go save her. Sir, and you're going to go alone without even knowing where it is. Demon, and what do you want me to do? Stay here while she continues to suffer, while they experiment on her as if she were just a simple guinea pig. I won't do it. He was about to leave but was stopped by some bandages to turn around and see who they belonged to. Aizawa, calm down, Demon. You're putting your emotions above your duty. Many must feel the same way, but acting like this isn't the answer. So relax. I promise you that we'll rescue her, but if you go out that door, our job will be harder. Demon just calmed down and let go of the door handle to just clench his fists while a few drops of blood came out of his hands. Demon, okay, I'll tell you everything I know so you can help me rescue her. Chapter 32, A Broken Promise. Demon, I'll tell you everything I know. He said to walk towards where Sir was and stand in front of everyone. Each hero took a stand again and paid attention to what the green-haired man had to say. Demon, 3 years ago my partner and I were in a park hanging out until we saw a little girl crying. Apparently she was lost, so we approached her to see what was happening. Flashback. Izuku approached the little leg to see if it was okay. Izuku, 12 years old, what's up, little one? The girl got scared and quickly backed away. Izuku, calm down, I won't hurt you, I just want to help you. He just gave a smile to the little girl who slowly approached Izuku to take his hand. I'm lost and I don't know where my parents are. Izuku, don't worry, we'll help you find them. He said to caress her head. The girl just nodded shyly. Momo, Izuku, what's wrong? Izuku, this little one is lost. Momo, seriously, tell me what your name is, little one. He said to bend down and be at his height. Eri, my name is Eri and I am 3 years old, miss. Momo, nice to meet you, Eri, I'm Momo and he's Izuku. Trust us, we'll find your parents. The girl just nodded a little more calmly so that Izuku could carry them and put them on his shoulders. Izuku, from there you will see them from further away while we look for him. Eri, yes, Izuku Nikin. Izuku, hee, it's fine walking. End of flashback. Izuku, since helping her and finding her parents, she became fond of us and we with her. Every day when we could, we visited her, to play with her. It was a very happy time for everyone until when she turned 4 she just disappeared. The only thing I could discover was that her parents had died and that it had been her fault. For 2 years I have been looking for her, but every time I found a clue I arrived late. As a guard I did not have anyone who could support me and I did not want to involve Ryukyu in a personal matter. That is why I have not been able to find her. Sir, and why do you say that she was responsible for the death of her parents? Demon, because of his quirk. In one of my investigations I saw what his quirk was and that is rewind. Deku, and what does that quirk do? Demon, what I understand is that it returns things to a previous stage as if it returned a person to before birth or nothing. That was what was in the reports. Sir, so that explains the bullets. Demon, I think if he uses Ares' DNA to return people to a stage where there were no quirks, if that happens the world will suffer a great change. Sir, thank you for passing on that information. Demon, I just want you to promise me something, that we will rescue her no matter what it costs. He said with a serious look. Sir, we will do our best. Demon, I lost her once, I won't do it again. The meeting continued normally until everyone left for their respective agencies and homes. Izuku just went quickly to his room and took his cell phone and dialed a number. Momo, hello Izuku, what's up? Izuku, Momo, I found her. Momo, what do you mean? Izuku, I found Eri, she's still alive. Momo just dropped her cell phone at the news. Her partner became alarmed and started talking to her. Kendo, Momo is fine, something happened. To move her shoulder a little, but she just fell to her knees as tears fell onto her knees. Kendo, Momo, what's happening? Something bad happened. Momo, Lapa in Kunkoantro finally found her. Kendo, to whom? Momo, Izuku found our little girl. He said to grab Indo by the shoulders and start moving her quickly and end up hugging her to take her cell phone again. Momo, tell me it's not a lie. Izuku, it's not, I promise I'll bring her back. Momo, please do it, bring her back. Izuku, I won't let her go again. Momo, okay, I trust you, so good luck. Izuku, you take care too. Izuku hung up the call to lie down on his bed and take a picture of himself with Momo, and Eri only to clench his fists. Izuku, I'll bring you back home, just hold on a little longer. Meanwhile, in a hidden place, Chisaki had entered a room with many toys. Chisaki, listen, little Eri, your last escape cost me dearly. If you do it again, I'll stop being good to you. Do you understand? Eri, Izuku-nikin will come for me. Chisaki, it's what you always say, but I don't see that guy here, so you better leave that little hope you have. He's probably already forgotten you. Eri, no, Izuku-nikin promised me to always be together. I know he will come for me and defeat you. He said to warn his pillow to where Chisaki is to give him an angry look. Chisaki, damn brat. He said to leave the room. Eri just lay back down on her bed hugging her legs. Eri, Izuku-nikin, I trust you. Flashback. Eri, Izuku-nikin, do you have any brothers? Izuku, let's say I have a sister but I don't see her for. Eri, if her sister comes, she will separate her from me. Izuku, of course not, you are important to me, I will never separate from you. Eri, you promise? Izuku, I promise. Eri, by the pinky. Izuku, by the pinky. He said as he intertwined his pinky with Eri's. Momo, hey, I'm part of this too. Eri, of course Momo Neka, I love you too. He said to hug Momo. Momo, oh, not only with that will you convince me, as punishment the tickle monster will attack you. He said to start tickling. Eri was just laughing, trying to get rid of Momo's attack. The three of them just started laughing, giving some beautiful smiles. End of flashback. Eri, I'll be waiting for you. The days passed and the search for Overhaul's lair was successful. Everyone was preparing for the mission to be successful. Police and heroes were gathered to begin this mission. Sir, attention, this is a high-priority mission. Our job is to rescue the girl and capture Overhaul. Everyone nodded at Sir's indication. Ryukyu, Demon, are you ready? Izuku was looking at the photo from before to keep it in his yukata and just nod. Demon, ready. Demon, sad face. Hang on, I'm here now, just hold on a little longer and you'll be back laughing like that. Sir, then let's go ahead and finish them off. Chapter 33, The P1 Rescue, A New Enemy. The mission had begun. All the heroes along with the police force were in front of Chisaki's lair, but before they could enter, a large subject destroyed the door and began to attack the heroes, but thanks to Ryukyu they stopped him and the Fimas entered the lair guided by Sir, who saw where the path was. Thanks to his future vision they went down to what looked like an underground lair. The heroes who were there continued with the operation until the entire area began to move as if it were a sea. The path in front of them was closed by a wall that came out of nowhere. Mirio, I'll go ahead, there's no time to waste. Sir, okay, but be careful, we'll catch up with you when we're done with the one moving everything. Mirio just nodded and crossed the wall with his quirk. The rest were just trying not to fall and looking for a way to keep moving forward, but then Izuku became alert. A smell filled his nose that made him pale. Izumi, brother, what's up? Everyone looked at Izuku, who had a look of fear and hatred. Izuku, Izumi, can I ask you a favor? Izumi, yes, it does happen. Izuku, I entrust you with Aries' rescue, please. Izumi, what happens? What happened? Izuku, a new threat is here and I have to take care of him. I'll catch up with you when I'm done with him. Izumi just saw her brother with a serious look. She didn't understand what was happening, but if her brother had that face, it was because of something serious. Izumi, understood. I promise I'll bring Eri back to your arms. Izuku just nodded and turned around to see a new path that had opened up for him. Izuku, water breathing, ninth stance, chaotic splash. Izuku just ran through all the walls without caring that they were moving. When he crossed the path, it closed so that no one else would follow him. The others just stayed there until a hole opened under their feet. Izuku followed the smell that didn't leave his nose until he reached a large warehouse that was empty and dark. He was on guard until he heard footsteps and a light bulb turned on in the middle of everything. Izuku could see a being standing in the middle of the light. Izuku, what's a demon doing here? So you're my target. I thought you'd be more intimidating. Izuku, who sent you? You should know better than anyone that it isn't like that. Izuku just clicked his tongue. You know something, he's very interested in you. After you got rid of that pathetic symbol of evil, you left the world open to him. Izuku, shut up. Why are you doing this? Because you took his blood. Come on, you don't have to talk to me like I'm an abomination. You're making me depressed. Izuku, stop playing games. How cold. Let me introduce myself. I'm Hiro, a demon who came to end your life in the name of my master. Izuku, well, try it if you can. Izuku launched himself at Hiro. Izuku, water breathing, first stance, water surface cut. Hiro just stood still in his place until before the katana hit his neck. Choco with a crimson dagger that made Izuku flinch. Hiro, you are a little hasty, aren't you? But you will make things easier for me. Blood technique, rain of cuts. The place lit up in a bright red so Izuku could look at the ceiling, which was filled with crimson cuts that went straight towards him. Izuku, water breathing, third pose, dance of the currents. Izuku was dodging all possible attacks, but that still doesn't mean that several cuts appeared on his body. Hiro, what happened, Hunter? Where did that confidence that overflowed in you go? Did it just vanish? Izuku just started breathing and exhaling. Izuku, you're right, I think I don't have to let my feelings control me anymore, so I'll go seriously. Water breathing, 10th pose, the Dragon of Change. Izuku began to attack Hiro with intensity. He alone blocked all of Izuku's attacks. Hiro, tell me, Hunter, why do you fight? Izuku said nothing and continued his attack. Hiro, do you really think this world is worth it? I believed in this world, but in a moment of carelessness, it stabbed me in the back. He said to push Izuku away from him. Hiro, tell me what to do when your heroes let you down. Izuku only thought about that time he almost died at the hands of his own parents. Hiro, tell me, Hunter. If life takes everything away from you, is it still worth living? Izuku just lowered his sword and gave a long sigh. He raised his gaze to see a great sadness in his eyes that surprised Hiro. Hiro, what happened? Why do you have that look? Izuku, I just felt like I saw my reflection in you. Only if I hadn't met my sensei I would have ended up like you. Hiro, what do I care? Izuku, tell me that I took your life so that becoming a demon would be your last option. Hiro just frowned at Izuku's question. Hiro, to my sister. Izuku, I see, and tell me she would have wanted this. He said with a bored look. Hiro, who knows, it's 3 meters underground, so I can't ask him. Izuku, so instead of taking 1 step forward, you took 10 steps back. Hiro, you're making fun of me because you had a good life. Izuku, of course not, I looked for the life I have now, you on the other hand ran away from yours. Hiro, silence, you don't understand anything. Izuku, maybe not. But that still makes you a coward for not running away from the life that took something from you so you wouldn't feel that suffering again. Hiro just clenched his fists. Hiro, silence, you know you can have a good life. Izuku, and let's go again with that. I didn't have this life, I earned it. I also lost a lot of people, but I still kept going. That's the big difference between you and me. Hero, silence blood technique, remote-controlled cuts. Several crimson attacks were fired at Izuku, who dodged them, but then they turned around and chased him again, while Hero just kept creating more. Hero, now I'll take you to meet death itself. Izuku just destroyed all the attacks he could but still received some. Izuku, I think I have no other choice. Water breathing, 13th stance, Dawn Sereno. Izuku was only seen running slowly against Hero. He just tried to cover himself, but like a breeze of humidity Izuku passed by him, and a large cut appeared on his chest. Hero, you're a bucking bastard. He said to turn around while generating the wound, but Izuku is already in front of him. Izuku, water breathing, first stance, cutting the water surface. With that cut, Hero's head fell to the floor without being able to do anything. Izuku just finished sighing, but his body still looked very hurt. Hero, damn it, I'll kill you even if it's the only thing I. But he felt a hand on his head, not causing harm but warmth. Izuku, I'm sorry, but I can't give you as much warmth as my sensei would have, but I will still light your way in this darkness. Rest in peace. Hero only saw Izuku's eyes that reflected sadness. Hero, he's alive. Izuku, I know. Hero, heroes are useless. Izuku, I know. Hero, I will never see my sister again. Izuku, you never know, I just wish you luck, Emi, and you find peace. Hero, he's creating his moons again. He just sent me to see your level. He's preparing to return to that era. Izuku, then I'll stop him. Hero just closed his eyes and disappeared. Izuku, I hope you find your peace. In a dark place, a young man of only 14 years old was crying while hugging his feet. Then a large white sphere illuminated that place. He stood up and ran after it. When he was about to catch it, he took something warm to then look closely at what it was and saw a small hand. Brother Hero, I've been waiting for you. Why did you take so long? Hero, sorry, I got caught up in something. Come on, let's go. We have a long way to go, Nina. Nina, yes, brother. To give her a beautiful smile and take her hand and walk like that through that great void that they had in front of them, but no longer alone. Back with Izuku. Izuku, now we just need to rescue Eri, so let's go, this isn't over yet. Chapter 34, I Decide My Destiny. The battle of heroes versus Yakuzas had begun. The heroes have been separating, defeating one by one the villains they find. Mirio finally arrived against Chisaki, fighting him until he took him to a large room. Mirio, I won't let you hurt her anymore, Overhaul. Overhaul, give it back to me. Eri is the key to cleansing this civilization, she said as she touched the ground, creating spikes that headed towards Mirio, who had Eri in his arms. She dodged everything she could. The battle was even, but with Eri there, Mirio found the fight complicated until she moved Eri away a bit and went to fight Overhaul, leaving her cape with her. The battle was being dominated, but one of Overhaul's henchmen took out a gun to point at Eri, shooting. The little girl just closed her eyes, but nothing happened. When she opened them, Mirio was in front of her with a smile. Mirio, you're fine, nothing happened to you. Eri, why are you doing this? Just leave me and you won't get hurt. Mirio, I'm sorry, but that's not what a hero does, so wait, I'll defeat him. He said to turn to see Overhaul and launch the attack. Now without his quirk, Mirio was at a disadvantage, but even so he would do everything to save the little girl. But in a careless moment, he is hit by some Chisaki spikes, hurting him. When Overhaul saw this, he attacked, what Mirio just stayed still because of the pain. He saw how spikes went towards him, but a wall breaks, revealing a green-haired girl wrapped in green rays, who reacted quickly and gave a strong blow to destroy the spikes. Izumi, Lemillion is fine. Mirio, you saved me, he said with noticeable tiredness. Izumi, leave this to me, take Eri out of here. Mirio, but... Sir, do what he says, we'll take care of it. Mirio, sir, Micah. But he interrupted him. Sir, if it didn't stop you before, get out of here now. He just nodded and went with Eri to leave the place. Overhaul, and more come out to interfere, I'll kill them all. At that, many spikes came out of the ground, and Sir and Izumi defended themselves as best they could, trying to get close and hit it, but they had no chance. Izumi threw fireballs to give him the opportunity to get closer, but nothing happened. The roof was destroyed, revealing Ryukyu, Uraraka, and Azuri, facing off against Asaki's followers. Izumi, girls are fine. Uraraka, yes, although this guy doesn't want to give in. Overhowl, I can't stand it anymore. He said to touch one of his henchmen and absorb him, taking a monstrous appearance. He launched an attack with his new form, putting up more of a fight with the heroes present, while Mirio walked through the halls trying to stay on his feet to get Eri out of here. Mirio, calm down, we're going to get out of here. Eri, why are you doing this? It's my fault you're getting hurt. I have to stop it. I don't want anyone to suffer. DG to release Mirio and run back to where the fight was taking place. Mirio, wait. He couldn't say more because of the pain he felt and tried to go to her, but a hand on his shoulder stopped him. You did well, I'll take care of it now, you rest. Mirio turned to look at him to sit on the floor and rest while the person headed to the fight area. In the fight, Sir and Izumi faced Overhowl. Sir saw the future to see what would happen, but then his vision broke and Overhowl's attack hit him, piercing his stomach. Izumi immediately grabbed him to take him where Ryukyu and the others were. Izumi, he's in very bad shape, take care of him, I'll face him. Uraraka, but Izumi is very strong. Izumi, don't worry, he's here so I know he'll be okay. Take care of him. He said to launch the attack against Overhowl. Sir, this really hurts. Ryukyu, sir, we have a chance to win. At that, Sir's eyes changed and his look changed to one of surprise. Sir, no, Overhowl will win, there is nothing to do. Uraraka, what does he say will happen to Izumi? Sir, she will die and Overhowl will escape, that's what I saw in the future. The others were surprised, they didn't know what to do. Their companion died in front of them without being able to do anything. She just looked at the hole in the wall. Uraraka, then we can't do anything. Sir, no, it's too late. He said while footsteps were heard in the hallway and a white-haired girl was seen. Eri, please stop. I don't want anyone else to suffer because of me, so take me and leave them alone. Sir just had a gloomy look. Sir, again I couldn't change anything. In his mind only images of Izumi dying and Overhowl escaping repeated themselves over and over again without stopping. Izumi, Eri, get out of here, it's dangerous. Eri, no, I don't want anyone else to get hurt. Sir just watched the scene with frustration. Perhaps the future cannot be changed. But then the images began to recede and burn in his mind. Sir, what's happening because I can't see anything? Izumi, I won't let you get hurt, so go, we will win. He said to get into a fighting stance in front of Overhowl. Eri, no, please stop. I don't want more people to suffer because of me. I'm just a mistake, a monster. Forget about me and save yourselves. I'm worthless. But a hand touched her head. The girl felt a warmth that she recognized. She just turned to see the person and her eyes began to flow tears. Eri, Izuku Niken. Izuku, hi Eri, I'm sorry I was late, but I'm here to take you home. He said to caress the little girl's head. He took off his yukata and put it on the little girl. Izuku, could you take care of this for me? It belonged to my father, so save him until I get back. If Momo is also waiting for you. He said, giving her a smile that reassured the little girl, to which she nodded. Izuku, that's how you talk, my little one. As he finished that sentence, the atmosphere changed and they felt a great pressure. Izuku, Izumi, take Eri. You, Ryukyu, and the other two take Sir. Mirio is in the hallway, hurt. Go help him. Izumi, but brother, he is very strong. Izuku, do it, Izumi. I know we're starting over, but now my mood is the worst, do what I say. She just felt a chill and nodded to go with him. The others also obeyed and everyone started to leave the place, but Overhowl attacked them, but the spikes disappeared as soon as they left the floor. Izuku, wait quietly, I have something special for you. Sir, who are you, because I can't see your future? Izuku, if I were to give you an answer, it's because I choose my destiny. If I should have died years ago, I changed it and came back stronger, so we can say that I'm an anomaly, sir. Let me help you with that. He said so that complete darkness would cover Sir and heal the wound. Izuku, Bo, I healed you completely. You still have everything wrong in there, but you won't die, so now go. The others left the place, but the little girl screamed something. Eri Izuku Niken, don't do it, please. I don't want you to get hurt. Izuku, don't worry, I promise I'll make it out alive so we can go home. He said to give a smile that calmed the little girl who went into Izumi's arms. Izuku, now Chisaki, I'll make you suffer for what you did to my little girl, so get ready because I'll kill you. Deji to take out his sword and have Black put it on his shoulder. Overhaul, I'll kill you and take Eri with me. Izuku, it will be over my cursed corpse. The two were ready to start the fight that would decide the victory of the heroes or Yakuzas. Chapter 35 Demon Slayer vs Overhaul. The two were ready for the fight, each waiting for the other to attack, but Overhaul didn't have time to waste, so he touched the ground to create a direct dive towards Izuku. Izuku, water breathing, third pose, dance of the currents. Izuku moved quickly between the spikes, cutting them until he got close to Overhaul. When he was already in front of him, he managed to cut off a couple of his arms, but he had to move away because the others were almost reaching him. Overhaul, why do you keep getting in the way of my plans? Izuku, because you dared to hurt my family and I will not forgive you for that. Overhaul took his severed arms and reattached them with his quirk. Izuku approached quickly and launched an attack. Izuku, water breathing, first stance, water surface cutting. He launched the attack that managed to wound Chisaki's chest but had to retreat due to the stakes that Chisaki threw. Overhaul, damn, don't you understand, she's the key to ending this world, returning it to what it was before? Izuku, I think the one who doesn't understand is you. You think you have control of everything, but you are only being manipulated by something worse, and you are not going to create your world, but you are going to create the one he wants. One where humans become easy prey again, and I will not let the work of my sensei and his friends be in vain. He said to jump like that, but Chisaki created a wall to prevent his advance. Overhaul, you're right, but I don't care since I'll be at the top too. Chisaki took out a jar with a red content that he absorbed with his quirk. He began to grow bigger and stronger. More limbs came out of his body. Chisaki has become an abomination. Overhaul, now I'll kill you and go after that brat to fulfill my dream. At that point the floor started to sprout many spikes that made Izuku move faster, although some of them lengthened and followed him, but Izuku cut them off. Izuku, this got more annoying, I have to be faster, and cut his neck, I thought. Izuku took a big leap towards the wall and leaned forward to gain momentum. Izuku, lightning breathing, first stance, lightning flash. Izuku shot out at Chisaki's neck, but his sword bounced off the seat, which received a blow from Chisaki and was sent to the wall. Izuku, damn, he trusted me. His body became harder than before. Now it's harder to cut, and because of the demon blood his quirk increased. Now as long as an aesthetic touches what wants to mutate, it will do it. So I don't have to let it touch me, he thought. Izuku couldn't think anymore because Chisaki launched himself at him to catch him, but Izuku moved away from him. Izuku, I have to go with more precision, more force. I will go with the breath of the fire god. At that his katana began to take on a crimson color, and Izuku began to increase his speed. Izuku, breath of the fire god, waltz. The flame dragon appeared behind Izuku and began to attack Chisaki from all sides. Although he still managed to pass through its tough skin, it was already leaving marks on his body, but it was still not enough. Overhaul, you are weak, here will be your grave and then I will rule this world. Chisaki began to grow even more, his speed increased even more. In that room, only sparks were seen caused by the clashes of both attacks, but one thing was certain, Izuku was not on par with Chisaki, causing a stake to hit the side of his stomach while he defended himself from an attack from the front. Before he could recover, Izuku was thrown again, crashing against the wall. Overhaul, ha ha ha, that's all you have, hero, this will be the end of you and the beginning of a new world. Izuku, you don't know when to shut up, right? Villains have this stupid habit of talking a lot. He said, trying to stand up again. Izuku, I'm still alive, so you still haven't won, and I still have a lot of energy left, isn't it, Black? At that, small names began to gather on Izuku's shoulder to form a cat. Black meow. Izuku, I have some broken ribs and the wound near my stomach. The union with Black I won't be able to maintain for much longer, so I thought I would give until my last breath to defeat you, Black. Walking. Black, am I you? Izuku, Nyankoi Discordia. At that, darkness began to envelop Izuku, when his completely black hair came out with a cat ear and tail made of shadows. Overhaul didn't care about that and threw a punch. Izuku, Breath of Chaos, first stance, chaotic slash. At that, Overhaul's arm separated from his body, making Chisaki scream. He tried to regenerate, but the wound did not regenerate, and the severed arm quickly disappeared. Overhaul, what the hell did you do, you damn brat? Izuku, I only put this fight equal, the fight between two devils. I hope you don't get scared now and are ready for this fight to the death. Chisaki didn't hold back and launched many attacks, changing the entire environment, while Izuku dodged everything with great ease. At this point, Chisaki's advantage was lost. He was no longer fighting against a human, but against a demon stronger than him. Overhaul, why don't you give up? I've sacrificed a lot to get where I am. A brat like you is equal to my strength. Izuku, because I never sacrificed anyone to get to this point. I walked and leaned on those I love. I even learned from my enemies. Someone who sees others down will never understand what it's like to climb up next to someone looking at their future. Izuku launched himself at Chisaki, who tried to cut him off, but Chisaki threw several punches. Izuku, Breath of Chaos, third stance, chaotic currents. Izuku quickly and aggressively cut everything in his path. Being face to face with Overhaul, who only looked into Izuku's eyes to see the darkness itself reflected in the Chisaki, he could not defend himself. His neck was cut and his body began to disappear. Izuku, I hope that in hell you learn to appreciate people more. Chisaki's body disappeared completely while Izuku placed his sword in the ground to support himself, and lay down on the ground since his body was at its limit, but before losing consciousness he heard some voices. Mirio, quick this way. Mario and some heroes arrived at the battlefield only to see a wreck and an Izuku lying on the ground next to his sword. Ryukyu, Izuku, are you okay? Quickly bring a stretcher. Izuku, hee, wonderful, just a few broken ribs and my body burns like hell. Ryukyu, this is no time for jokes. Izuku, hee, sorry. Mirio, Izuku and Chisaki. Izuku, dead. He preferred to become a demon than to lose this battle. If you excuse me, I will sleep a little since my energies are at the minimum. In that, Izuku fell asleep and was taken to give him first aid. The battle of the Yakuza vs the heroes had ended and the rescue of Eri was completed. This battle the heroes win. Chapter 36 Reunion. In a hospital room, Izuku was asleep after the battle against the Yakuzas. He was recovering, but something else was happening in his mind. In Izuku's mind, he was standing in the middle of a large snowy forest. He didn't know what was happening, he just stood analyzing his surroundings. Izuku, where am I? In front of him, 3 people are seen, a young woman protecting an unconscious boy while in front of them there was another person with a katana. Izuku, what's going on? What is this? Now he was in another forest, but it was full of cobwebs, but some sounds caught his attention, and a strong light made him turn around to see the young man who was unconscious cutting off the head of what looked like a demon. Izuku, that person is. At that moment, the sound of a train left him stunned, to hear people crying and see what was standing on the tracks while in front of him there were 4 people. Izuku, those are. Then he appeared in front of a cabin. Izuku, this is the house of. The only way to open the door of the cabin was illuminated by several candles, and in the middle of it a young adult, sitting with his back to him. Izuku, sensei, is you? The young man sitting in front of Izuku remained silent until he let out a sigh. Sensei, it's good to see you're okay, but you shouldn't be here, especially when you're not ready yet. Izuku, sensei, what do you mean I'm ready? I'm stronger than you remember, and I already know who I am. Sensei, are you sure? At that the candles began to go out while the sensei slowly stood up. Sensei, are you sure you're ready? At that, the figure of the sensei began to change until all the candles went out, leaving Izuku in darkness. His blood feels cold, and a chill runs through his body until they take him by the neck so that the place begins to light up in flames, and in front of him his sensei with demonic eyes as well as a smile that does not seem to be his own. Sensei? Are you ready to kill your beloved sensei Izuku Midoriya? Are you capable of killing Tanjiro Kamado with your own hands? Izuku, you are not my sensei. You are not my father! At that point the place begins to disappear along with the person who was holding it. I'll be waiting for the day you decide to kill me, and when you doubt, I'll take away the people you love the most. At that moment Izuku woke up sweating in his bed. His breathing felt agitated. He just brought his hand to his neck as if looking for signs of what had happened, but then death was opened, revealing a dark-haired girl who, upon seeing him awake, threw herself at him. Momo, Izuku, it's good that you're awake. I was worried. Izuku just reciprocated the hug as his body relaxed. Izuku, glad to see you. Momo, how long have I been asleep? Momo, not much, just 1 day. How much? The doctors said it was just an excess of energy since your wounds healed on their own. Izuku, and how are the others? Momo, the girls are fine. Mirio lost his quirk but he's recovering. Sir was able to survive thanks to you and Eri. They're doing some tests on him. What Overhaul did to him is unforgivable, but he's no longer here. Izuku just put his hand on Momo's head to pet her. Izuku, you don't have to worry about that anymore. We just have to make her happy for the rest of her life and make her forget the bad days. Momo, sometimes you sound like an old man. Izuku, let's just say that the person who raised me was already very old. Momo, I would have liked to meet him. Izuku, me too, but now we have to go see Eri. Momo, are you sure you feel better now? Izuku, if you can go out to change me and tell me where Eri is. Momo just nodded to leave Izuku alone in the room. Once Momo left, he saw her hand with a thought. Izuku, what was that dream? At that, a word from his father came back to his mind. Tanjiro, Izuku, I not only train you to fight villains and demons, but also so that in the worst-case scenario you can become better than me. Izuku, why do you say that, father? Tanjiro, you'll know in time. I just wish you never understand. Izuku, I'm sorry, father, but I think I understand now. Izuku got out of bed to put on the clothes Momo had left him when he left. He saw her waiting next to the door to take him to where the little girl was. Izuku, anything else I need to know? Momo, not much, it's just that you're a little more well-known now. Izuku, that will only bring me trouble. But someone appeared in front of them. It was Sir, who was bandaged and was accompanied by Mirio. Mirio, hey Kamado, I see you're feeling fine now. Izuku, yes, and I'm sorry about what happened to you. Mirio, don't worry, even without a quirk I won't stop improving. Izuku, I see, and how are you, sir? The aforementioned only bowed a little, leaving everyone present surprised. Sir, thank you for saving me and showing me that the future can be changed. Izuku, I don't know why you're grateful, after all it's my job, we're not heroes. Sir just gave a small smile. Sir, yes, that is true, but it is still adult-like to be grateful and celebrate the achievements of young people, so continue on that path. With that, Sir left the couple alone to return to their room with Mirio's help. Izuku, we continue. Momo, yes. The two continued through the hospital corridors until they reached the little girl's door where Aizawa was in his sleeping bag. Izuku, are you feeling well, sensei? Aizawa, I'm just taking a break. We have to be careful with the little girl's quirk, although she has been calm. Izuku, I can see her. Aizawa, yes, after all she has been asking about you since she woke up. With that, Izuku and Momo entered the room to see the little girl sitting on the bed with a downcast look. Izuku, what's wrong, little one? Why is that long face? At that, the little girl turned to where she heard the words to see Izuku and Momo. Eri, Izuku Nikin. He said to jump into Izuku's arms. Eri, you're fine, nothing bad happened to you. Izuku, calm down, everything is fine. I promised you I would come back okay. He said while giving her a big hug. Izuku, now we can go home together. Eri, I can really go with you. Izuku, of course we will be your family from now on, so you don't have to worry about anything, just be happy from now on. At that, Momo also joined the hug, leaving a beautiful moment for the three, but in an unknown place two people will not let the happy moments last long. Doctor, according to the latest tests, Noma's Zero is stable and his recovery is almost complete. We may have lost Overhaul, but what does that matter? I already have what I always wanted. I just have to get rid of some obstacles. Doctor, what do you plan to do? Prepare the Noma. What if we try it with the new number 1 and those children interfere? They will be good food for me.
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.